You know what it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
You know who it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Odie, Maurice, Odie, Maurice.
Maurice, Odie, Maurice, Odie.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy. It's the Black and Snurdy podcast with Odie and Maurice.
Are you just looking at me? Why are you looking at me like that? Oh, because... Hello, my name is Odie.
And my name is Maurice.
And you're listening to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
We're off to an amazing start.
Well, okay, I just want to say that one,
Has it been that long since we've recorded?
It has. I mean, it's been like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
We've been on hiatus.
Yes.
I had COVID. I also didn't.
There's been a number of things that happened.
There's
like
numerous.
You had COVID a little bit, like.
Are you kidding me?
Like
I had COVID a little bit.
I mean,
there's no such thing as having COVID a little bit.
As in, you had COVID for a little.
I
bit
was
of time.
sleeping the whole month of December.
You didn't have COVID for the whole month of December,
I
though.
was sleeping.
Yeah,
the whole month of
believe,
December.
I believe that
because
part.
my body was recuperating from the terrible ravaging of COVID.
Oh wait, no, you had COVID like closer towards the end of December.
No, I did not.
Yeah,
I
you
got
did.
COVID December 10th. From December 10th all the way up until I think New Year's Eve, I was sleeping. I think the week of New Year's Eve, I finally had enough energy to move about the cabin as normal. Okay,
I could have
think
sworn that you had COVID.
Sir,
like
I
later
think
in
the
the month.
one who had the COVID.
Okay.
And you want to know how I know that it was December 10th? Because that was my friend Richard's birthday when we went to Barcade, and then we went to the drag show.
That's right.
Shout out to, I forgot her name, but the drag queen who's now on the most recent season of RuPaul's Drag Race, because we were so excited to see her that I probably got COVID by going there and being in a crowd of people, even with my mask on.
That's
it was
right.
way too many people.
That's right.
And I was inebriated at that point and was not being nearly the one time that I just say, let it go. And you want to know what happens? COVID's ravaging my lungs.
I don't know about the one time, but it is a time that
When
you weren't
do you
being.
not say?
I was there with you at the Halloween party.
We were at the Halloween party.
I don't know if you were
Okay.
being like COVID restriction at that party.
But I would say like there were probably I would say a handful of times where I was being, because I mean most often we don't really leave when we go out. We don't usually leave Brooklyn.
No, we don't. So it is
number
very
one.
rare to get out of the borough in and of itself.
And even when we do go out, if we're going to like a bar in Brooklyn, we usually go to the and that one's not like bumping, the one by me.
Yes.
That's closer to me. And then when we go to the other one that you like more, that one's also not really like a lot of people. Most of the time when we go to these bars in Brooklyn, even the other one that you love, like these are pretty like Cheers types bars.
But see, that's what I like. That is okay. So that is more my speed. One, there's not that many people in there, so I don't have to worry about catching COVID.
Yep.
You know. Two, like usually I don't have to yell and scream at the top of my lungs in order to have a conversation with somebody. Three, I believe. Am I doing letters or numbers? It doesn't even matter. Three, I like a place with good music. You know, so the music tends to be pretty good. And 4, and most importantly, the drinks are not that expensive.
Well, that's true. Exactly. Because one, if you go to the city, I mean, not to say there are plenty of dive bars in the city, but like...
but like there's like a $10 fucking beer and shot special, and it's the sweetest beer in the world.
Is $10
and the most
high?
diabetes-filled whiskey shot out of a thimble that you've ever had in your life. No.
I mean, that's true.
No, ma'am.
But yeah, I feel like we have been... majority of the time, pretty COVID cautious.
Yeah.
And I will say that there have been like a handful of times, like I said, where I was like, The next day I was like, oh shoot, I probably should have. I was being diligent, but like the Halloween party, Halloween was probably the first time I had gone out. That was the first time I'd been in the city in a really long time.
Yeah, it was the first time in the city for a long time too.
I definitely got way more intoxicated than I expected.
And never again. Like I think at one point I just just chucked the deuces and was
you
like,
were
all
like,
right,
goodbye.
I'm out of here.
I was like, no.
We wanted to go to a second location. And I'm just like, are you kidding me?
It just felt like I really understand now why the Roaring Twenties was the Roaring 20s.
Yeah.
Because you're cooped up.
Yeah.
And then you're finally like kind of able to go out, and it's just like even when you're being cautious, you still want to be able to have fun. So I will say that my catching COVID has definitely, like, everyone who thought I was being a hypochondriac before, like, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. And when I can finally find the portable oxygen tank, I will be sporting that around with me, and I don't care. Yesterday, like I told you, I went out with some friends to a bar. Thankfully, it had an outdoor section. So it wasn't like a crazy crowded bar, but it was kind of similar. It would be like if that out. Well, bleep that out. It would be like if that bar had a outdoor section. So the inside was like a little bit small, but the outside was pretty large, and I was like, I really appreciated that, but I just felt very uncomfortable being around anyone, even with a mask, even though technically, because I had COVID, my antibodies or whatever are all good, and I won't catch it for another at least 3 months or something. But like, there are people that I'll say like, yeah, I'm not trying to catch COVID again. They're like, yeah, the first time I had it, and I'm like, the first? Like, the woman was too stunned to speak. Why do you want to be catching this more than once? Like, I could probably name on one hand the amount of times I've gotten the flu. I've gotten bronchitis before, or having like a respiratory infection, but the flu, not so much. So the fact that you could have this novel virus 3-4 times in 3 years almost, we're about to be on the 3-year mark. That is saying something about your lack of self-preservation.
Yes, and this is coming from somebody who most definitely has gotten their booster, right?
Well, I couldn't get my booster because I had COVID, and so I had to wait till the time elapsed.
Yeah.
Because I got eligible for my booster the week that I caught COVID. So I don't know. Have you gotten your booster?
I've been waiting for you. It's been a whole month or two now.
When have you reminded me? Oh, Odie, don't forget we're going to get our boosters.
I'm waiting for you because I'm like, one, you had COVID.
Okay, but why have you said, Odie, I'm waiting for you to get the booster. Let's check in on that.
Well, I'm going off of like priority of like the most important things that I have to remind you of. Right now, there's one thing that takes priority for me reminding you. Once that finally gets taken care of, eventually, then I can move on, take that out of my brain and say, all right, the next thing is the booster.
Fine. Well, then don't mention the booster as if it's something we've just been chatting about every week.
You're the one up here talking about you're taking things like seriously and health and stuff. Meanwhile, you're still like going out to like outdoor, like you're
I'm
out
going
here
out to outdoor.
You're more out here than I am.
I'm going to outdoor. First of all, weren't you at a date yesterday at a bar? I'm sorry.
A bar that
were
is
you not at
my
a bar?
speed. A bar that.
Well, you were still at a bar with another person.
The same bar that I've been going to that I know checks my vaccine cards, and I know there's never that many people in there.
But you were still at the bar.
But it's only one bar. So.
Speaking of vaccine cards, did you see that today, as of today, February 11th, you no longer have a vaccine mandate in indoor spaces, so people are just going to be raw dog in the air.
Is that true?
It's true. Yeah.
Like in New York or just like anywhere?
In New York. In schools, they still have the mask, allegedly. That hasn't been changed yet. But and like your Uber it still has the mask. But every other place, I mean, not like people have really been. I'm usually the only one wearing a mask when I go into places.
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen a few places that have been a little bit lax when it comes to like checking.
When I go to, I mean, even the place that we like, that bar where you like to go, they will check it, but they don't make you have a mask. And as I told you before, I know a few people who have a fake card.
Yeah.
So I don't trust. And like when I went to Barcade and that other drag show in the Village, we had all that. We all had to get checked for the vaccine cards. But if there's one person that was in that room that had a fake one,
Yeah.
or if they had even been in contact with one, I mean, that's all it takes. So it's kind of like, I'm grateful that we have the vaccines, the boosters, and da-da-da. And I'm not trying to, like, live in fear or whatever. But it's still, like, obnoxious to know that it only takes one person.
Yeah.
As that song goes, it only takes a spark.
I will say that I'm currently friends with somebody who has not gotten a vaccine and who has a fake card. I'm not going to say who they are.
Is it who I think it is?
No.
Okay.
I actually don't think I saw who you mouthed. But no, I will.
Tell me off mic.
I'll tell you off mic.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have that conversation off mic.
But okay, so before we
get into anything, welcome to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
I said that when we first came on.
First off, you had a delay.
I did, but I said I'm Odie. You said I'm Maurice, and I said welcome to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
Okay, it's been that long that we have to now refresh.
We do.
Get back into the fucking vibe in the zone.
But okay, so before we go into our shenanigans, we've already dipped a toe into our shenanigans, but before we really get into it, we have some sad church announcements to just mention. One, this is the it's so hard to say goodbye. That is what we take a shot.
Okay.
Because that's what we need to drop for. It's so hard to say goodbye. Because even though, it's a bit morbid to think about all of the people who are going to pass, people die every day. And, we can mourn them in those ways. But anyway, sorry. Yes. So we are going to give an RIP to some very lovely, wonderful people. One, of course, Betty White.
Of course. Yes.
That was started off the year like that with a bang, and we didn't record then, so
no,
we missed that. Yeah. Betty White, of course, because she's the ultimate golden girl. We loved her. We all grew up on her. She was the world's grandmother. I personally remember sleeping or laying on my Nana's bed at the edge of it while she would watch Golden Girls, and that's such a beautiful memory for me. And I know many of us also have those. So I
always remember her from her stint on Community.
Yes.
At the very end, where she and Donald Glover and the actor who plays Abed. I'm not. I mean, no. This is Danny Pudi. That's his name. Danny Pudi. Them rapping together, and then busting out into Africa by Toto. I bless the rains down in Africa. So but hey,
one of my favorite roles of hers, which was so like minute, was when she played the alligator feeding grandmother in Lake Placid.
Right.
And it's like the big, spoiler alert if you didn't see that movie in 1998. She's in there. You see her at the end. She's like giving them fish. And I just thought that was just like peak Betty White. Like I feel like, how Snoop Dogg, which, we'll get to that, but he's always doing random things. Like how did he end up in this random Korean rap video?
Yeah.
And I feel like that was definitely Betty White's role. And we're also going to be sending so much love to Regina King's family. Her son, he took his life I think this was the beginning of January, and his name was Ian Alexander Jr. It was her only child of her and her ex-husband, which, it's terrible to lose your child or a family member at any way, but like your only child, I feel like is just, that's another just gut-wrenching thing. But I've been happy to see so many people supporting her, because that's really just really important. And also Chelsea Christ, the Miss Universe. She also committed suicide this past January.
A lot of suicide happening.
A lot, and I think like we don't. I haven't seen much come out about Regina King's son. I know he was in music, but he wasn't someone that like. If they left anything, if he did leave anything, we didn't see it.
Right.
But Chelsea Christ had written an article, I believe it was last year in People, just detailing what it was like, just the stress she was dealing with. Because I don't know if you remember, the year that she won Miss Universe, which I think was 2019, I think it was 2019 or 2018. It was her and several other black women. They all the titles, Miss Universe, Miss America, like all the big ones, all black women. And she was a part of that cohort, and it was just like, wow, this is great, Black Girl Magic, da da da. But then you think about after she wins, she still has to keep up that Miss Universe for a whole year afterwards, and then whatever initiatives might come from that. It's like you're never turned off. You're never turned off as a regular content creator, but when you're someone who's supposed to have like a moral majority over other people and be a role model, I think that's even harder sometimes, like the stress of that. I've definitely felt that even in my roles, and that weren't even that as front facing. So definitely sending so much love to everyone's families who've lost someone. If you're in need of help, please reach out to the suicide hotline or a therapist. There's so many resources for you. Yeah. And people, they want to help, they want to talk. So, definitely just keep that in mind. That was
nobody. All right, you're never really you're never truly alone.
Yes.
Okay, so like it takes an amount of bravery and strength to realize that you're in a space where you're not happy, and it takes even more to realize that you don't have to be in that situation.
Yes.
And you don't have to be in that state.
And
there's always somebody who is willing to listen and help you out.
And we love you.
Yeah, we love you.
So now that we have been able to pay reverence to those who we've lost, we're going to get into I was going to say the good stuff, but the good, the bad, the ugly, and the shenanigans.
Oh, man. Hold on. Sorry. I got you. Oh, we got to change that out.
Yeah, if you're hearing this, just know that we will be changing. And now I'm going to have to figure out a new you know what? Fuck you, Trey Songz. Okay, fuck you. Because there's his catalog, admittedly not in the last few albums really haven't been for me, outside a few singles, but like his first album, even like the first 3 albums were so good. He has such a beautiful voice. I love him on his features with his little, he and what's his name? Ty Dolla $ign and Future doing their little,
He bought yodeling to the masses.
Oh man. He was beautiful. He had a beautiful voice. I've seen him live a few times, felt like such good charisma, XYZ. And now we have, I think there was a total of 5 or 6 sexual abuse allegations, like sexual abuse and rape. Not to mention what Keke Palmer talked about a few years ago, how he was trying to force her into his music video and she was in the bathroom and it was a whole crazy situation that nobody wanted to believe her and just was saying she was being stupid. But like clearly after that, he had several allegations about inappropriate behavior. So it's just like, believe women. And rant over, but fuck you, Trey Songz.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, you know what? Hold on. Not only fuck you, Trey Songz, but just want to throw this out here.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You've been missing these drops.
I have.
But now on to good news and people that we want to support and love. First of all, we needed, you know what? I'm thinking about all these drops. We needed to have an HU drop. Because there always just seems to be another Howard Bison who is out here living their best life, securing the bag, taking care of their community, tearing down white supremacy and the patriarchy, and just put it on for our HBCU. And most recently, that person is Jessica Agayepong, and she is on the quarterfinal game of Jeopardy. Hopefully, it's actually playing tonight. I really hope she won. And it's for the college. It's for the college night. So it's her and of course other the National College Championships. Yeah. So it's her, like people from Princeton, Yale. Very smart people. And she says, being in a place where I can really advocate for HBCUs and show up-and-coming students that, hey, you can go to HBCU and be academically successful and stand up against Ivy Leagues and things like that, that was really a prime motivator for preparing on the shows. Again, like a really huge honor to be representing Howard. It is, and we salute you, Jessica.
No, we do. We absolutely do. Sorry. I just saw this.
Now who's that delaying?
No, a little bit. There's this video, shit students from Howard University says, and I was trying to see if I could find the drop in there. Here's a.
If you're not voting enough tomorrow, you get purged.
Yeah, well, that's true. Okay, some other good news. Issa Rae is going to get an award at the Producer Guild Awards this year.
Yeah.
She's getting the Visionary Award, and this is for given to producers across television, film, or new media who share inspiring, uplifting stories that add unique value to society and culture.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, it's amazing. A few people who have gotten it before are Octavia Spencer, Ava DuVernay, and Brad Pitt. So she's among
Ava DuVernay.
Yeah, we love her. She's gorgeous. She's amazing. She's talented.
Yeah.
And we, Issa Rae. If you think about when we were in college watching her awkward black girl videos,
I could have did the same thing for her. Issa Rae, more like Issa Yay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You love doing those little things.
More
there.
like Issa Bae.
Okay.
Oh, she's married now, right?
Yes, she is.
Everybody gets divorced at some point.
All right, we are rooting for their black love.
No, for sure. You know what? Shout out to.
But if she wants a side piece,
yeah, shout out to Issa
maybe
Rae
they're into polyamory.
and her temporary husband. That's not what I'm not after being a side dick. No.
Maybe you could just be in a throuple.
A thruple?
Yeah.
Now that first off, that triangle doesn't connect. Okay, like it. I do not want to. How can I be in a thruple if I don't even know what the husband looked like? What his name is?
I'm gonna find him. He's cute.
I'm sure he is, but you know who's wearing the HBO pants in that family is. Oh, we never talked about the finale too.
I still haven't.
Oh, that's why we haven't talked about it.
Yeah,
okay. You are. What have you been doing these last 3 months?
Hoarding it. Okay.
You've also you said that about fucking what's that other show that you said that you were hoarding? Kim's Groceries.
Yeah.
And that show was old.
Kim's Convenience.
Yeah.
Yes, I have been hoarding Kim's Convenience.
Hoarding.
Because I really like the show. I like Kim's Convenience, Insecure, Grace and Frankie. I have just hoarding them because I know
Grace and Frankie are have another season coming out, right?
Yes.
And it's gonna be the final.
But it's the final one. And I just once I know it's final, I'm just I'm so sad. Like recently, I was watching Lucifer, and I really, really tried to hold off, but I just was loving it too much.
Did you try?
I did try. Once I realized, oh shoot, 6 seasons. I'm on season 3. Then I tried to sneak in Peaky Blinders back in there to try to give it up. But Peaky Blinders is so much. It's so much.
There's so much happening at any given time, and I cannot understand half of it. Like I even with the subtitles on, it's just you know what it is. Like it's one of those shows that because it started, I feel like, with Mad Men, where everybody's mumbling, everybody's speaking in a low, gravelly baritone voice. Now you add an Irish accent on top of that, and it's just
I think that I feel privileged because my family is from the UK and Ireland, so I'm very used to hearing these different accents. And I watch a lot of British TV.
You're way smart.
Okay, well, we're continuing on. Speaking of really good news, Eve and her husband Maximilian Cooper have their baby. He was born on February 1st, and do you want to know his very long name?
Dear God, no. What is this long ass name?
Wild Wolf Fife Alexander Summers Cooper.
Wait, Fife?
Fife. That's Fife, right?
I believe that's Fife.
You think that she's named him after
Fife Dog from
Yeah.
No, because Fife Dog is PHIF.
But maybe they just didn't want to spell it like that.
First off, they have all the time in the world to jam 15 different first names in
feel
there.
like her
They have enough
husband
time to do some
is
spelling check.
Nordic, so this might be like a Nordic
Fife.
thing.
What's the whole name again? It's Wild Wolf.
Wild Wolf Fife Alexander Summers Cooper.
She's got billionaire money, doesn't
she?
she?
3, 4, 5, 6 names. Yeah, he's a billionaire, and now she's popped his baby out. So that's an automatic. I don't know what the prenup looks like, but I'm gonna say that most likely you have a baby and you have a male baby.
Yeah, that's automatic.
That's automatic,
billionaire.
like maybe not billion, but good millionaire. Like she'll leave and until he's 18 or 21, will get like $5 million like chump change.
Yeah, she doesn't have to go back to Queens ever.
I mean, we regardless of whether or not Janet Jackson ever decides to let Jermaine Dupri even sniff the hem of her garment, she has her Sultan baby.
Yes.
And she's good. Like she didn't have to do that documentary, which we still have to watch, by the way. She didn't have to do that. She doesn't have to make music. She doesn't have to do a tour. She don't have to do nothing because she has a Sultan's baby. And I don't even know if he was really Sultan, but I know he was a billionaire.
Yeah.
She has baby billionaire money.
Yeah.
And I want you women to know, or any of you people who can produce children, to stop producing children unless the men are going to somehow be able to elevate your life financially, because every week I'm hearing of a new situation where a man is paying like $30 in child support.
Yes.
There's a whole TikTok going around of this man who one very, I personally would not sleep with him, but he has 8 children by 6 mothers.
Okay,
And
so he's double back twice.
so yeah, why? Who knows? Because nothing about him seems appealing. But whatever. He pays like $430 a month, and he was gleefully telling the
Split
world
between all 8 of the kids?
Yeah, one woman. I think one of the women gets like $220.
I was about to say.
And the other women get like between $30 and $80. Like it's ridiculous a week or a month or something. But like, could you imagine? Like, if
like
you're
$50
listen,
ish. That's
child
it,
support.
$50.
Everyone wants to talk about child support as if it's just like people like to talk about child support the way that Republicans like to talk about welfare. They like to talk about it as if it's like you're just stealing from the man and he's just giving you all his money and he's destitute. When in reality, you are more than likely not getting that much. And honestly, it takes if you put $30 in a main parent's hand, by the time 3 hours go by, that money could be gone. Yeah. And not because they're doing anything frivolous.
Yeah, that could easily just be like a trip to the grocery store to pick up some Pampers.
Yes. Do you know how much formula costs?
Yeah.
It's just and don't have a baby with like a sensitive stomach.
Yes.
Because when I remember when Amara was born, she had like acid reflux. Her boxes of the Infamil or whatever little powder, those things were like $45, $50 a canister. Like not that huge Kool-Aid canister, like half. Could you imagine $50 for that? That baby gotta eat. That baby's gonna eat 2 or 3 bottles a day at bare minimum.
Yeah. So I mean, you need to like cut that up with
baby powder.
I was about to say, yeah, like just like make it last, like stretch your margins.
I mean,
treat that
I
shit
get
like
why people will like put rice or rice powder or something in the formulas. It's like, yeah, you want to make the baby full, but also This shit's expensive.
It is expensive.
So,
It's expensive to raise a child.
also, speaking of children, we have lost a real one, folks. Well, we didn't lose her. We've gained a new real one because Rihanna, the queen of everything, is pregnant with A$AP Rocky's child. Now, as much as I personally, yes, all the air horns. We are so happy for Rihanna. We are so happy for her because, first of all, she looks gorgeous. She looks glowing and beautiful.
Oh, that stomach.
Every post is just like, I'm a bad bitch and I'm pregnant. What is it? What about it? Do I think that A$AP Rocky is good enough for her? No. But am I happy that she's happy? Yes.
No,
and that baby's going to be super cute.
She had one simple demand, which was for a rude boy to come here.
Okay.
And he's the only one who stepped up, so.
All right. Now, as we move on. But yes, you're Bayesian queen.
He said, yeah. No, it's unfortunate that, it obviously there is something to be said about Harlem motherfuckers. Who,
true.
Apparently they're just like, this is continuing the Harlem legacy. Now that's a real Harlem Renaissance happening.
Wait, but who
in
else
that
has
uterus.
a Harlem? Who else has a Harlem boyfriend or baby father?
No, I just mean I'm sure Jewels has children. You know.
Oh yeah, all of them have children.
All of Dipset have children.
I mean, I would say Harlem. Even though I've never lived in Harlem, I've always been a Brooklynite / Long Islander, and spend most of my time this part of the borough. I will say, whenever I go to Harlem, I do have a very distinct appreciation for Harlem culture, and the Harlem blackness, because I feel like I always think about Harlem Renaissance blackness in Harlem was very like foo shishi. Yeah. And then in Brooklyn it was like bohemian blackness, which both of them great, love it. Yeah. But it's like, where else would you have found a black rapper to make wearing pink fur coats popular? Yeah. But somebody from Harlem. When Jay-Z was wearing the snorkels, Cameron was coming out with the Luda Tuda, Rudy Tooty, Fresh and Fruity, and we loved it. And we still love it to this day. And which is why when we watched the Locks versus Dipset, even though Dipset was on something else, we see how fun it is to be around them. And the energy is really, it is intoxicating. Yes, I mean, when you think about New Yorkers in general, like, if I'm out and there's somebody that I'm like, ooh, they have this like really great energy about them, I'm really like attracted to this. And then they'll be like, oh, I'm from New York. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I get it. Makes sense to me now.
So in 9 months from now, between 8 or 9 months from now, there's going to be a new member of the A$AP mob.
A$AP baby.
A$AP Navy.
Oh my God. All right. Moving on. Yes, we just... now, speaking of big babies, have you been keeping up with this Kanye West, Kim Kardashian?
Oh, I'm not sure. I didn't realize that's where you were going to go. But you said baby, so...
Well, he's acting like one.
Okay. All right, continue.
So we know that Kanye West has been forcing us to know about his life. Even more so recently. Him and his ex-wife are going through a divorce. He is trolling her by moving across the street from her house, making diss records about Pete Davidson. He just made another one that's like, oh gosh. He in the lyrics it goes 100 goons pulling up to SNL. I don't know why we needed to hear this, but here we are. But more recently, he decided he wanted to cape for someone in the Kardashian clan, Travis Scott, because Billie Eilish, who we love, she was performing at a concert. Someone like passed out. She paused, gave them an inhaler, and she said, "I wait for people to be okay before I keep going." People were saying that was a shot at Travis Scott. And it's like, who the fuck cares? No one. How many people just last week they just said that they were putting together the 237 lawsuits into one big case against this man. Mm-hmm. No, I don't care about him. I don't care. He has money. He's going to be fine. It's all good. But Kanye won cape for a wrong man per usual. He goes on his Instagram, which he is known to do, and says, "Come on, Billy, we love you. Please apologize to Trav and the families of the people who lost their lives." Oh wait, I'm sorry. I need to be in Kanye's voice. Billy, we love you. You please apologize to Trav and the families of the people who lost their lives. No one intended this to happen. Trav didn't have any idea what was happening when he was on stage and was very hurt by what happened. And yes, Trav will be with me at Coachella, but now I need Billy to apologize before I perform. Now, it does need some work. I could have gone more into his,
some work.
I could have gone more into his weird, super preppy voice, but I needed more time. Next time you all have something from him, I will do a better rendition. Now, one, we all know that I was going to go to Coachella. I am now going to sell my tickets.
Are you really? For real?
Yeah, I'm going to sell them because I don't want to see him at Kanye. I don't want to see him.
You don't want to see.
And I definitely don't want to see Travis Scott.
It's only gonna be one night though. You just don't have to go that one night.
Yeah, but also my one of my grandmas passed in Nigeria, so I'm going to the. That's the main reason.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna play drop at that.
No, but I was debating not going because I was like, the other headliners are Harry Styles and Billie Eilish, who I do enjoy. I really love Billie Eilish, so I would have loved to see her, but I really don't want to see Kanye. He's gonna bring out Travis Scott and Drake, and I mean Drake, yes, but I don't want to see Travis Scott. What was that?
That was the beginning of Sicko Mode.
Barf.
I can't find more of a.
We don't need to have anything for him. But I just don't need his energy. He's to me such a. He's not even a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's just a freaking troll. Mm-hmm. And I don't want anyone to talk to me about his mental health anymore because we all have mental health. And not to say that could not mean that you might not do things that are strange or weird or different in times of crisis and all that. But it is clear that regardless of his mental state, he is not actively trying to work on that.
Yeah. Because
he continues to make terrible choices and also inundate us with terrible things. You have a whole live reality show with your family, and then your daughter is on TikTok making kid-friendly videos, and you're putting up pictures of it on your Instagram and to harass your ex-wife about your daughter ending up on the pole because she's on TikTok. Make it make sense.
I have had this theory for a really long time. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, I've known since the creation of Kimye, of them dating, that I knew that relationship was not going to last forever. Mm-hmm. I did not expect 4 children to be involved.
Same.
Nor did I expect it to go on for 5 albums that have wildly different quality consistencies.
Yes.
But I have said that, Kanye, if anything, Kanye's always been a sort of narcissist. Mm-hmm. But I think that once he started dating and marrying Kim, that essentially I'm not saying that she's the culprit, but
I think she played a part.
Yeah.
She played a part because she didn't not to say she wanted him to be.
There has been allowances to let him basically hang himself.
Yes, and because it's good for ratings, I think until he started getting too far off and saying really ridiculous things.
He ran for president.
But I think like
to siphon shit from Joe Biden.
I think that until he was saying stuff about like their daughter, I think that was like stuff that was like, yeah, this is really getting too far. But it was like, I think that's the problem when you have a whole life that's based around being in entertainment, social media, influencer, whatever, which their lives has been. It's like literally she got famous because somehow, some way, allegedly someone from her camp leaked this sex tape, or even if it was Rachel's camp. Regardless, manager Kim figured out a way to finagle the drama into now $1 billion empire, which on one hand, great businesswoman. But also that begins to create a situation where it's more important to have fodder for the tabloids because it's going to bring you money than to have like integrity and like making sure that your people and your family are safe.
Yeah.
But it does piss me off that Kanye is trying to now use this "you're playing with the black man's children" type of narrative, because he has consistently fucked over every black woman that he has been with him, and you're now fucking with this like whatever this new white actress Julia Fox.
Yeah.
We are now forced to see her.
Well, they're in an open relationship.
We have to see her in these Mad Max pleather leather bandage outfits in every little fucking photo. If she's getting Variety and Deadline or whatever to do articles about her, it's just like I feel like she definitely is being paid for this relationship. It's not at all real. She wants to get her career higher. He wants to get back at Kim, so he's like, I got a whiter woman than you.
But she reached such heights as when she was in Uncut Gems.
I don't even remember. I couldn't even tell. When I looked at her IMDb, I know she probably has more money than me.
Is it Julia Fox or Julie Fox?
Oh, sure. Sorry to that woman. Sorry to that woman. I could not tell you. I'm sorry. I do not know, because every time I see the articles, I just fly by them so quickly. But yeah, it's just such bullshit going on, and I just want it to stop. And I just want it to be over.
Yeah, same
as Keisha Cole so elegantly said.
Okay, well, this is not Keisha Cole. Just upsetting.
In other random celebrity family feuds, we've discussed here about Britney Spears and her conservatorship. Free Britney, she's been freed. Yay, yay, yay. But thank you. And you know, we all collectively in the black community, when it comes to Britney Spears, not too much. Okay, we don't need too much to start popping off and being like, y'all, everyone needs to calm down because we love her. Okay. Now when it came out that her family was doing all these shenanigans, and then we found out that her younger sister was co-signing and she wasn't really being supportive of her on social media, and she was saying things like, you should just listen to dad and blah, 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 blah. And then we were like, fuck you, Jamie Lynn Spears.
Yeah.
And then she went and Jamie Lynn did that, I think it was Good Morning America or Today's Show interview.
Yeah, she did that.
With Gail. It was with the network Gail, so I think it's Good Morning America.
I believe so, yeah.
She did it at like a primetime network interview with them because she has a new book coming out. Britney Spears has been ripping her a new asshole in every post outside of doing her like, you know, cute dance moves. She has been ripping her sister a new one, and I've been loving it. But apparently, you know, no press is bad press because Jamie Lynn Spears is getting a podcast to talk about her new book.
Bruh.
And her book is called Things I Should Have Said, and it just it makes me sad.
And as soon as I saw that title, it reminded me of that Toto song. That Tio. What is
all
it?
the things you said, all the things you said, running through my head, running through my head, running through my head. This is not enough. Oh man. They tried to ban that song in my middle school because it was, you know, they had kissed in the video. That was the first time we had a like lesbian kiss in the video, and oh my god, the children. But yes, it was just as sham filled as that video because I believe that they were not lesbians at all, and it was only made up for the music video. So that was ridiculous, just as ridiculous as this foolish shenanigans. Now, I want to say that I do give Jamie Lynn Spears grace because we all know about the allegations of around Nickelodeon, her getting pregnant and the possible abuse, etc. And honestly, if her older sister was being abused financially, emotionally, or whatever by her father, mostly, she obviously was not that far from the tree. Mm-hmm. They were pimping her out. Well, no pun intended. They were because that you know
if that's a pun.
I don't know. Well, no, I don't know what would it be.
I think you're just
saying the truth,
saying a fact.
Oh, okay.
Saying something. I don't think it was a pun. You didn't play any words.
I don't know. Okay, fine. Either way,
like what was clever?
Oh, God. Either way, we know that she went through a lot.
Yes.
But to me, I just feel like I have an older sister, and I can't imagine if we were in those different tables that I would have allowed her name to be like, just drawn through the mud like that. So, fuck you, Jamie Lynn Spears. We're here for Britney all the time. We love you. Keep doing what you're doing.
What you say? That you only meant well.
Did you just do this one now? You just created this.
No, I've had this in the tuck for a minute.
Well, you know what? I love it.
I don't know if it's appropriate, but I all right. So little spoiler. I have not been on this mixer for months, and I am going through this folder marked sound effects. And while we are talking and having a very deep discussion, I am just also going to include another just unused sound effect that we have not used on this show, period, point blank. So if you're wondering like what Maurice is doing over here, he's also doing that. In addition to having a compelling conversation with his coworker. So
okay. I wanted to mention that there were some more shenanigans.
Yes, of course.
This time at a bowling alley of all places.
Wait a minute, at a bowling alley?
Yes. So, you know who the rapper DaBaby is.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who Danny Lee is.
I do.
The woman that has his baby.
Yes.
So apparently
has the baby's. Well, wait. Now, does she have the baby's baby?
She has the baby's baby. And the baby was at Corbin Bowl in Topeka, California, this past weekend, and this past week, and so was Danny Lee's brother, Brandon Bills.
Yeah.
And the baby, for whatever reason, decided he and his cronies were going to jump him.
Let's go.
Oh my God.
That's what he said.
I'm going to take away your drop abilities.
Huh?
This is what happens when you don't, record in a really long time. You have all these drops pent up in you.
Yeah. I've been drop fasting for months now, and that is also going to be the title of this episode.
Drop fast.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so but the thing about it, I'm going to send you the video so that you can watch it if you have not already.
Slipping and sliding all over the place.
Because if anyone has ever gone bowling, you know that where the pins are, where you roll that ball down, is extremely slippery, right? So you see it looks like the fight goes from where the seating is, where you're usually drinking your beer and eating your chips and stuff. It goes from there to the actual what is the lane?
The lanes, yeah.
And so I think the baby, from what I saw in the video, swings first, and then they back up, and they're all in the lanes, like slipping and sliding, like this is a freaking a silent film for the 20s.
I'm watching it now. It looks like, the baby throws the first punch. And water gets splashed all over the place. Yeah, they're slipping and sliding. Have you ever seen Get Rich or Die Trying?
No, not on purpose.
Okay, because like there's a scene where there's basically a brawl that breaks out in like a prison shower, and basically it's just a bunch of black men slipping and sliding all over the place.
Wait, what is this again?
This is Get Rich or Die Trying.
I think I have seen that clip.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, like it's. I think Terrence Howard might be in the scene, but
Wait, Terrence Howard was in Get Rich or Die Trying?
I believe so.
I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Shower fight. Hold on, I'm about to send this to you. Okay, because they're just like slipping and sliding all over the place, just fighting. Like it's insane. And I mean, yeah, Terrence Howard is in it. Yeah. Okay.
This is news to me.
But anyhow, that's neither here nor there.
Well, the baby is now banned from the bowling alley.
Baby
before
banned.
his foolishness.
Huh?
And honestly, fucking good riddance, because he cannot see. That was not me.
No, that. Oh my god. Sorry.
He could not seem to keep himself out of trouble. This whole situation with Danny Lee, I can completely understand why her brother, if he saw him, would have some choice words, because the way he treated his sister was disgusting. But you know,
Why are y'all at a bowling alley in the?
I honestly did not see it. And maybe I skimmed over this while I was reading, but like they're just why?
Like, cause bowl. All right. So, I feel like if you have a certain amount of income, there are certain fun activities that just stop being in your sort of wheelhouse, you know? Like, I can't imagine like somebody who's making like six figures just, hey, let's go to the movies. You know what I mean? Like to see to the local cinema to see Spider-Man No Way Home, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like bowling alley is lumped in there. It's just like who is just like, man, I got enough money to go to Tulum on a whim. But you know what I'm really itching for? I'm itching to, you know, eat some of them greasy nacho fucking cheese and then stick those fingers into some used holes.
Oh gosh. But okay, I will say I love bowling.
Used bowling holes.
I like bowling a lot. I feel like it's fun, it's chill, and I think like if you are in a right space, I think it's depending on who you're playing with.
You know what?
Some people are super competitive, and some
it's
people
competitive
are,
until you get a gutter ball, and then it's like,
yeah.
all right,
And then if you're with people who are you're even playing, and you're not like the best,
I'm not trying anymore.
it's like you're just kind of going through it. But I think that like if you're in a black space, like a black bowling alley, very different than a white bowling alley. So I feel like you can have a good time, but it's just like, why? Like, if we can't go to Corbin Bowls, then where can we go?
Mm-hmm.
All right? But, you know, the baby, fuck you. And I hope that all of your children are taken care of, but that you have a terrible time because you're the worst. And that's all we got to say about that one. Now, this has been a really weird situation.
Mm-hmm.
Snoop Dogg has been having a really good week and a really bad week because he's performing at the Super Bowl this weekend.
So should I do the alarm or should I wait for it?
Just wait for it.
Okay.
Smoke weed every day.
At the very least, that's appropriate. It's Snoop Dogg.
How many random drops do you have for random celebrities that we've not necessarily mentioned that often
Ever on the show.
On the show.
Sometimes they're not even celebrity based. Like sometimes they're just like fucking. I haven't even broken out the anime stuff. So anyhow, continue.
Okay. Anyway,
In the video game stuff, this will really be black and snurdy by the time I'm done with this.
So Snoop is he's performing at the Super Bowl this weekend.
Alongside like Eminem, Dr. Dre.
Mary J. Blige. There's
Kendrick
Kendrick.
Lamar.
And there's actually going to be two deaf rappers, which is like the first time in the history this is happening. So very great week. He also just acquired Death Row Records. He is now the owner.
Yes.
However, he is currently being sued from a woman from 2013 who says that he and another acquaintance of his, a friend, raped her. So she says that in May 29th, 2013, after attending one of his shows in Anaheim, California, Snoop and Bishop Don Juan offered her a ride home. After falling asleep in the car, the woman claims that instead of taking her home, she was taken to Bishop Don Juan's home. According to the lawsuit, the woman says she woke up at 4 a.m. the next morning, and then Bishop removed his penis from his pants and forced his penis in the plaintiff's mouth. He continued to sexually assault her orally, then gave her a dress to put on before going to Snoop's studio. When she got there, she said she wasn't feeling well and went to the bathroom. When she was on the toilet, Snoop came in with his crotch in the plaintiff's face and, then forced oral sex on her. He is saying that this, of course, is just for financial gain, and the claims are untrue. We of course know that you're innocent until proven guilty. However, we just watched that Cosby documentary.
Yes, we did. I was just thinking about
and that. This is a literal copy and paste almost, except for the drugging of what would happen with Cosby. So I would not this to me wouldn't be surprising. Now, whether it was just Bishop Don Juan, and Snoop, or whether it was one of them or both of them that did something to her, I'm hoping we'll find that out. But I feel very much we need to listen and believe people when they say something was done to them first, and see what happens with what the other person's, whatever they have aside or whatever the case may be, and see how it plays out in the courts. But this is one of those things where it's like, you want to make sure you're listening and believing to the survivors while also giving somebody else a fair shake, because we can acknowledge that there are two things that are true at the same time. One, the amount of people who falsify reports about sexual abuse is really, really a low number. I want to say it's either like 1% of cases or 10%. And I know that's like a kind of like a 9-point jump, but I'm just like mixing it up in my head. But it's not like 20-30%. Like I know it's not that high. So we know that that's true. And we also know that celebrities can be targeted for different schemes. All those things can be true at the same time. But I think that, what's important is to not be clouded by someone's celebrity and how much we like them. Because I really like Snoop. I think he's a great rapper, actor. He's very fun, very charismatic. He's a cool dude. And I would hope that he would not be doing something as egregious as forcibly making someone give him head. And I hope that comes out. And whatever happened to this woman, I want whatever happened to this woman to come out, and that whoever needs to be held accountable be held accountable. Yeah,
I hope that some semblance of justice is served. And I guess we're just gonna have to, wait and see.
Yeah,
pay close attention to this, and see how it all plays out.
But I'm definitely not interested in even though we do need to watch. Can't say that I'm interested in really paying attention to this, because you just know how ashy people are going to be, especially with someone like Snoop. Just think about when Ice Cube was talking about meeting with Trump, and everybody was annoyed, and then all the black men were like, "We need to support our black brother," blah 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 blah. Even if why would you meet with Trump? He's not doing anything for us, and you're not listening to the other people, activists who have been working in this space for years. You're just trying to jump in and be Captain Tavaho. Well, we don't need you to do that. But it's so often when black men do things that are wrong or are problematic, other black people, especially black men, do not want to be like, yeah, what you did was wrong. I don't think that, like, you can't play oppression Olympics with sexual assault, or any sort of any kind of assault. But I think that you could say, is this a situation where someone made a mistake and did something wrong and can possibly learn, grow, and change from that and make amends, etc.? The very essence of, it's not transformative justice.
Okay.
We'll see, like, can we give someone the tools and the resources to understand why what they did was wrong and then move forward from that? There's that type of situation, and then we have Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein situations. Like, those to me are two different things. I don't think that someone who makes a mistake is a monster. The same way if someone were to murder one person, I'm not thinking that they're a monster. But after you've committed this crime, what are you doing to make amends with your community and with yourself to ensure that these things are not happening again? And that's just what I want to see as a whole. And if whoever is found guilty in this situation, I hope they do that as well. Because, like, I just can't imagine anybody coming out to say someone did this thing to me of such a high magnitude, and no one's just lying about things for the sake of lying. So I just wish men would stop being gross.
Same here. I agree. I am agreeing with you. I am in firm agreement with you.
To take away.
Tell me that how is that not an agreement?
Did you have anything else to say?
No, I did not have anything else to say. We're pretty deep into this right now.
We are. Okay, we only have like a few more things. One, Wendy Williams is kind of getting pushed into like a Britney Spears kind of conservatorship, which is kind of scary, and it's something we need to pay attention to. They're saying that legal documents said that Wells Fargo Bank sent a letter to the New York Supreme Court Judge Ari Bluth requesting a hearing to decipher whether or not Wendy needs assistance with handling her funds due to her health declining over the last few months. Now, to me,
that Wells Fargo actually did this and not that. Like a loved one or...
Well, it could have been Wells Fargo sending it at the behest.
On the behest of, like, well, that was about to be a fucked up question. I was going to say, does Wendy Williams have any loved ones? But, like...
She has her son.
Yeah, she has
other people.
Children.
It says Williams' former financial advisor, Lori Schiller, alleges that she was of unsound mind, which prompted the bank to restrict her access. So, yeah, the petition... The Wells Fargo request came after Wendy's attorney, Celeste and McGaw, filed an emergency petition last Friday claiming the bank had denied her access to her account for more than 2 weeks. So...
Well, to be fair, how long has it been since Wendy Williams has been on her show?
It's been... Sherry Shepherd's currently the temporary host. The Wells Fargo is saying that they think that, I guess from the money that's coming out, that... Sorry, I have the hiccups.
No, it's okay.
That she is being financially, it's like being mismanaged by someone. Now,
it's probably
like
because
exploitation.
There's not money. There's not like the money that's coming in is not matching the amount that's going out.
Probably
on some level.
I mean, who knows? If we know that there are people who will take advantage of people,
of
so
course.
I do think that should a bank be able to say, like, when you. Like, for instance, every time I want to buy Ivy Park, my card doesn't work because my bank always thinks it's some sort of fraud. And so they're like, hey, we're not going to let this through because we don't think you should be spending this much money on sneakers and clothes. Especially...
Sorry, that's an off-mic comment that I was going to make.
And so... So I understand that sometimes your bank might be trying to take care of you.
Yes.
But I really, this sort of idea of restricting someone's funds, it just makes me think a lot about Britney and how we see how women, disabled people, anyone who is not considered, the upper echelon of society, how we have historically had a lot of issues with people trying to take control over us in whatever way they see fit. And that happened to Brittany. We see how long she had to deal with that, the situation with Bundy Williams. We don't know what her mental state is. We don't know anything about that except for what people are telling us. But if you remember during the summer when, what's that singer, Kelly Price's sister, was telling us she was missing, her husband might have been taking her or whatever the case may be. She hadn't been able to speak to her this whole time. She was sick. She didn't know what was going on. Everybody was like, where's Kelly Price? Da-da-da-da. Come to find out, she was just recovering from COVID, and she hadn't talked to that sister for X amount of years. They were estranged, and she was trying to, be extra about it. So it's like, you never really could know necessarily, even if the person's family, how someone's really doing unless you speak to them. So I hope she's doing well. But this story was it just made me sad because it's like, why can't she just take care of herself without somebody being weird?
Yeah.
Speaking of being weird, did you see the penis palooza that was on our timelines this past week?
Oh shit!
Yes. Yes, I did.
Both.
I unfortunately, I feel like I actually mentioned, I'm not sure if I brought one of them up to you.
You did.
The other one you brought to my attention, and it's one of those things where one, Black Twitter has no chill.
None.
Because it is it's one thing if something is trending, and then this is the two things on Twitter when something is trending. Either it is something innocuous enough that the majority of people, when you click on the thing that's trending, to be I can't figure out what is trending, and it's the reaction to the fact that you have to do so much digging to find it. Or it's Black Twitter, and it's as soon as you click on it, and it's nope, here it is.
Yeah.
This is what's trending. We have the video and the footage and the sound effects and everything to show you what is trending.
Well, just so that you can be made aware of, Nelly and Little Fizz had a little...
Had a little.
Well, I didn't... No pun intended there.
Okay.
They had a bit of a mishap on their socials. Well, actually...
Well, I feel like one was a supposed mishap. The other one was an OnlyFans thing.
Yeah. So, Nelly was accidentally... he was posting up stuff on his stories. And I guess, you never know when your finger is going to slip and add an extra photo or video.
When your finger's gonna slip.
Because when you can select multiple ones, sometimes, personally, for me, I always get nervous. There's even that.
But there's also a confirmation.
You can review. But I always review extra hard because I'm even if it's not a nude or something.
Apparently, Nelly also reviews extra hard.
I just don't want any random ugly photo of me. And Nelly, he decided to upload, or he allegedly accidentally uploaded, a video of him getting head from a lovely young woman who I want to say she's the real victim in all this because her face is the one that is plastered across the internet sucking Nelly's dick.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with sucking dick. There's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself between two consensual adults.
Yeah.
We love it. We hope you were tested for COVID and everything else. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
But what she was doing with you and what she wanted to do with you had to do with you and her. And I hope that she sues him for revenge porn because he will bounce back from this so quickly and easily. On the other hand, she might not. Yeah. What if she's in a relationship right now? What if she's, she could anything? What if her job is as a school teacher and now they're this is inappropriate? Anything could happen. People always hate women who are enjoying themselves sexually. So I just hope that she sues him. And then J Bug, not J Bug. I wish it was though. Lil Fizz.
Ew.
I love to. Well, Lil Fizz was always my number one, but J Bug close second. He has an OnlyFans apparently, which I think I knew about, but like never. I just thought he was just doing that to piss off like Omarion or something. I don't know. It was so long ago that he even made it. I hadn't heard about it since. But he was on there fapping away. Mm-hmm. And I was not impressed at all. Not because I wasn't impressed with either of the videos.
Really?
No, not because
Not
of
like
the,
with. I mean, at the really not like one of them.
I will say that not to say that I wasn't impressed because of the size or anything. Everybody kept commenting on the size.
Yeah.
Like to me, I'm like, one, the vagina is only 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches deep. Most of y'all do not need or want some sort of 12-inch mandingo baby arm sort of situation. You need a regular, as MJ Harris calls it, husband dick, which is a good amount without going overboard. And also sometimes people who go have too much to spare really have no idea what they're doing, and you're gonna end up in pain.
Yeah.
So I think you should just everyone cool with the body shaming.
I have a theory. That like the longer it is, the more the bigger it is, the less about her sex becomes.
I think that some of them just
It's
feel
just
like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
They're
it's
just
like I'm here to wreck it. I'm
here for a
wrecking
good time, not a long time.
No, I'm here for a good time. You're here for the long time.
Oh gosh. All right. Anyway, so they had these videos out. I was not impressed because I just thought they were boring. I was bored watching them.
Yeah. They weren't that long clips.
Yeah, and I just was like, eh.
They weren't that long, period.
I'm not really.
Proud and spoken.
So that was very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, why did y'all both put this out on the same day? Because you have an album coming out or something like that. Like this felt purposeful. Like your dick's out. Well, look at me. But yes, and
damn, they didn't do that song. I was about to say, "Look at Me Now," but that's Chris Brown.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
But speaking of dicks, I sent you a video.
Yeah,
you have it.
I do.
And just to give you all some context, there's been a lot of situations. There's been a lot of rumblings recently about Joe Rogan. If you don't know Joe Rogan, he's probably most famous for his time on news radio as the himbo who didn't know what to do with himself or do anything at the radio station, much like his current persona. And his time at Fear Factor, which is talking to other people about doing stupid stuff, which honestly, both of these roles perfectly prepared him for being a popular podcaster. And as you know, like initially he was doing like comedy stuff. He would have people on there, be a little bit edgy. Yeah. It was like Howard Stern-y.
Yeah.
But then once Trump got elected, it turned into more of like the let me be divisive and against the left wing, and I'm gonna tell like it is, which he has been doing. But more recently, he's been spreading a lot of disinformation. So people like Joni Mitchell and Neil Diamond. Is it Neil Diamond? I think.
No.
Damn.
Not Neil Diamond. It's not Neil Diamond. It's
Neil Young.
Neil Young.
He took his music off. They said they're taking their music off of Spotify because he was just giving a lot of COVID disinformation, because he will speak to quote unquote doctors and experts about COVID, but they usually are the people that only like Fox News would want to hire.
Yeah.
So recently, India Arie gave her voice to the fray, and she explained why she would not want to have her music on Spotify. And this is what she said, and then there's a cute little clip for you to indulge in right after.
I want to leave a short message here about why I decided to ask my music be pulled off of Spotify. Spotify is built on the back of the music streaming. So they take this money that's built from streaming and they pay this guy $100 million, but they pay us 0.003% of a penny. Just take me off. I don't want to generate money that pays this. This is why. Watch this.
You know, the nigger thing.
Yes. Saying the word nigger.
You've already said nigger. D is just like nigger. Saying nigger. She's calling you a nigger. It's like this boy that he's a nigger, but starts calling them niggers. Word nigger. There should be a word like nigger, especially like the word nigger. That's our nigger. About niggers. He says nigger. Guy, a nigger. And then our niggers start saying nigger. Allowed to use the word nigger. Out the word nigger. See nigger. Word nigger. Say nigger, and he couldn't say nigger. And most nigger.
Yep.
Wait. I had something for this, but I guess it's not working. The one time that I need the thing that I want to work, and it's not working. It's, you know what? Fine. It's nothing? Really?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
There we go.
All right, you got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, white people, why do you keep letting the dumbest among you get these platforms? And I know that, like, you know, as black people, I empathize because we have Umar, you know, we have Dr. Umar. And we have
we can't keep using that as an excuse, though. That like we have ours.
No,
on
I'm just
our
saying.
end.
Like I know that it's sometimes like but you know how many people, like of all the black people you know, there's probably like maybe 5% that like will actively listen to Dr. Umar like unironically, right? And I think that this is probably the same thing for white people, but I feel like white people don't want to check. Like black people are gonna be like, nah, he's dumb. But white people are not checking their white people in the ways that they need to because there's
never check their white people. When was the last time like white people like legit were checked by their own kind?
I think it's
that's
like
why every Halloween we have to like fucking
give a PSA,
get ready for the inevitable like blackface Halloween costume. It took a fucking worldwide pandemic for there to be finally a year or two where nobody dressed up in blackface. You realize that, right?
Yeah, it's
like
true.
that's crazy.
I think that like black people, and I've said this to people before. Yeah. Growing up around white people makes you sensitive, not because there are things that necessarily the things that are happening to you are supposed to make you feel sensitive, but that like they are sometimes very much unaccustomed to being direct and honest. Like someone said, it's traveled its way around Twitter, so I don't have no clue who the original sayer is, but that black people are kind, but they're not nice, and white people are nice, but they're not kind. So when you go up to an auntie, and she's looking at you and she's like, "Oh, bless your heart." She's not being rude to you and saying that whatever this thing that you've done is wrong, but I'm gonna still bless you so you can learn better next time. But she's not gonna be like, "Oh yes, this is great," and then the back end, be talking about you. I think that black people, are very direct and clear, always have been. But same way we have the epigenetics of slavery, they have the epigenetics of waspiness, and waspiness coming down from the Anglican ancestors is all about what is that word? Avoidance, conflict avoidance. Okay, and if I was gonna thank anybody for my conflict avoidance, it would definitely be my old great grandfather, the slave owner, because I'm sure he didn't like to speak his truth either, and just wanted to pretend like there were no issues actually happening. Because I think that white people just need to get better at saying, listen, you're doing something weird. This is not just about the race. This is about you as a weird human being. Get better.
Your great grandfather was a slave owner?
Yeah. You didn't see that? You never seen that picture of my grandfather's, my great grandfather. My pop, his great grandfather was an enslaved person. So his father my great grandfather, Grandpa Lyles, his father was the human trafficker. He owned many slaves, and he also my great grandfather both had to raise his children and his siblings. If you know, you know. And I have a picture of him, that one that I have my old family reunion, and it's him and my grandma Lyles, and he's holding a book to show like whatever fuck you I can read. And when my great grandfather died, I believe he left him. I want to say he might have freed him in the will, but what he left him in his will, of course, he gave all of his children something. He left him the bullwhip that had been used on him countless times. So, yay.
If you know, you know.
So, if you could imagine the amount of avoidance you would need to have, like right to this day, the white Lyles, if I were to reach out to them and be like, I would like to come to our family reunion, they try to act like they don't know how in the world we're related. They think that we come from even I can say you're from Spartanburg, South Carolina, from the same street, the same da-da-da-da-da. They don't want any parts of it. Like, I can't go get buried at the Lyles or the McKissick burial in South Carolina or anywhere because they want to act like this was not a part of their history. Denial. Okay? That's just, it's within the whites. What was that?
Like one of those. Like,
I want you to play it again. Why did you at any point decide that this was a drop?
You mean the funny big single drinking gulp drop?
Yes. Why?
It's uncomfortable. That's what we're describing. The whites don't know how they're fucking related, and therefore they're like that's what they're doing. That one is actually one of the most appropriate fucking drops that I played. Almost, I would say every other drop is wildly more inappropriate than that one is. For sure.
Hey, you know what?
Facts.
I'm going to let it go.
It's not like I said, you know what? I could have. No, I could have. But it's not like I did this.
Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
I mean, you know what? You got to. I do like that one. But I just feel like white people, you have to be able to say, listen,
who's hot?
It is really hot. Like, this is what happened in the past. These are things that are happening. Mm-hmm. We are going to stand up against them. You have to choose humanity over race. Yeah. And I wouldn't say that to any other melanated folk. Like, I think that black people, brown people, yellow people need to choose our communities over white supremacy every single day. Mm-hmm. But for white people, that's a reverse, because the things that when they choose race over everybody else, it usually ends up worse for the rest of us. Which is very crappy.
Right.
And I think
I believe that's everything, right?
I'm pretty sure that's it. I think how much more could we even do?
Yeah. Because we're like
at an hour mark.
No, we're at an hour and 23 minutes mark.
Yeah. All right. We can cut out some oohs and ahs.
No, we're not cutting out any of these drops. None of these drops is getting cut out. Okay.
All right.
Like we're keeping everything in there.
Well,
we will bleep out some stuff though.
Can we take a break? I need to get some more drinks.
Yeah.
And it's really warm. I need to. It's fitzing right now.
Yeah, of course.
All right, we will. We will be right back
with more of the Black and Snurdy podcast.
You're listening to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
We now return to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
Yeah, we're back.
Wait.
I don't have a song.
Well, no.
I couldn't think of a song.
I'm going to sing one.
Okay.
Then.
Go for it.
Belly gang, whoa. We about to put it on a show. You better act like you know. Belly gang, whoa. It's my friend's new song.
Did you try to at least sing it, or
okay? So
are you reading the lyrics?
No, it's just my friend's new song that has been in my head.
Like that sounded less like a song, and you just giving me instructions.
No, I was trying to make sure I was. I've been hearing that song.
Belly gang, whoa.
On my, it's been on my popping up on my feed quite often, and so now it is like permanently stuck there. And that was the first song on my IG.
Okay.
So I've been hearing a lot. So shout out to Belly Gang. Stream that there. Selfish promo. And I was trying to think of a cool song like we usually have, like one we usually have coming in. And I couldn't think of any of the ones we usually have, and that was the one that was at the top of mind.
I feel like I did have one in my mind, but I think we've already done the what's the name of that song? The one that's like Last Night While Making Love to You.
As yet, last night we have. You are correct.
Yeah, I think I already did that one. So,
but you could have done that one from Silk. Is Silk? Damn, what's that one that they have? It's not Freak Me Baby because that's Jodeci. Damn.
I think you're thinking of Changing Faces.
What song are you thinking of with Changing Faces?
Mind if I stroke you out?
I don't mind.
Mind if I stroke you out?
I don't mind.
All the night. What? Holy shit! Was that song? Time out. Wait a minute. I need to look up the lyrics to "Stroke You Up." Because that song's
about consent.
No, that song is about pegging.
Because
it's the women asking.
If it is, maybe that's going to be my new anthem.
Hold on.
You know.
Oh, you know what? We can't.
Is it? Oh God,
we
why?
Can't sing.
Don't tell me it.
Yeah, he's in it.
I don't.
He's in the song.
Of course.
I just looked up the lyrics.
Of course. And that's probably why we haven't sung it.
Oh, wait. So he's the one saying I don't mind.
Yeah, never mind.
Well, of course he doesn't mind. He doesn't. Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck
boy.
you.
Well, so much
dirty
for that.
men.
Yeah.
And the people who enable you. As we are here to chat with each other about where's the drop?
I'm waiting for you to at least like segue better.
Well, I was waiting for the music. Isn't the music usually starting by now? Or
No.
Okay, fine. Listen, we haven't done this in months.
Yeah.
Very rusty. Okay, so now we're gonna jump into our segment that talks about mental health.
You know what the funny thing is? I'm usually the one who segues us into this.
You're correct.
Because now that I'm thinking about it and listening to you, you're not doing a really good job.
You know what? Fuck you. Okay? You have been coming for me all day long. All right? I am not sure what I have done to offend you so. But honestly, this is just...
I can tell you what you haven't done. That is offensive.
You know, I felt like we were going to have a very joyous, loving time
this
here.
Is joyous.
However,
I only make fun
I
of the people that I care about, and I can only have these kinds of conversations with people that I care about.
And also harassed and
no,
harangued.
this is low stakes harassment. This is not like actual harassment.
Actually, you know what? That's true because I actually have been harassed this week or in the last few weeks, and this is low stakes harassment.
Yeah, because I'm about to say like this is like of all the harassment that could possibly happen, like
it's true.
This is like a slight pinch in a direction.
Pinches can still break blood vessels, okay, and hurt really bad. So
I don't have any drops for that. But I just let's just get into our mental health, because we are both in a good spot in our lives where we pride ourselves on self-care and mental health awareness. So we're currently on our mental health exploration.
And we are advocates.
Yeah, we're advocates, not experts.
Although I will say that I'm kind of...
No, you're not. An expert?
Wow, you didn't even let me finish anything that I was about to say.
Okay, sorry. You know what? You're absolutely right.
Again,
what are you...
choosing violence at every juncture.
Is this choosing violence or is this choosing sassiness?
No, but sassiness is a form of violence.
Is sassiness violence?
It is. Sassiness and pettiness are a form of violence.
Sassiness and pettiness are...
Sassiness, sarcasm, pettiness.
Non-aggressive.
Form of... No, those are aggressive.
Those are...
They are... Because when you are being passive aggressive...
Yeah, they're There it is. It's passive aggressive.
What is the second word there?
It's a type of aggressive, but it's not active aggressive.
You are still being aggressive. There is still violence because if you're not being direct, telling the person
it's
you're doing
indirect
X thing,
aggression.
You are being violent. So in T ways, I said I'm leaning into becoming an expert specifically on ADHD because I'm not going to be an expert on all the other ways that you can be mentally ill, but I will be an expert on my own.
Neurodivergent.
Okay, is that not categorized in the DSM-5 as a mental illness?
Yeah, but we're moving away from.
Is it not categorized
the mental
in
illness
the DSM-5
nomenclature
as
I'm just saying,
a mental illness and a disability?
Are
you telling me?
I'm just saying, like it's not.
Wrong?
It's less of a. It's because to say that like it's any form of like it's not that it's a disability. You know what I mean? Like it's neurodivergence. It's a different way in which your mind, chemistry,
but
works.
For some people, is also
it can
debilitating.
It can be debilitating, but not all of it. Not all neurodivergencies is a
okay. But there are still plenty of neurodivergent
and also mental
people.
illness has a stigma to it.
Okay, fine.
You chose violence.
You all can say whatever words to make you feel better in your panties.
Holy shit! Now you're definitely choosing.
I'm not choosing violence.
You all? That's just like you just kind of you people.
I did not.
Promo.
I'm a part of the you all.
You mean that's why there's the word we?
Whatever.
You didn't say we all.
You're trying to get me. Aren't we supposed to be cutting time here?
How is your mental health odyssey going?
I don't want to say first because now you've pissed me off. I don't want to go first now. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to go second.
All right,
that's what my mental health is choosing at the current moment.
All right, your mental health ramble is currently ceding its time to me.
Yes.
All right, fair enough.
How has your mental health been since the last time we saw you, and how has it been currently this week?
Oh, not great. I lost my therapist. And I'm not taking my meds because my medication.
You are not taking. Since when are you not taking your meds?
My medication. I switched locations. I switched pharmacies.
You still haven't gone to pick up your meds?
No, because the pharmacy is charging me not.
Why haven't you just gone over there to wait?
And I don't know why. Because I'm supposed to only be I'm supposed to only be paying $10 for my medication.
Do you need a black woman to
They're
get on
charging
the phone
$80 for one thing of medication. I'm just like, I'm not paying $80 for this bullshit. Like,
do you need me to get on the phone and
I don't know why.
Do the black woman what's going on here?
It might be helpful to figure that out.
Let's figure it out. Because I just want to. When has this been? Because whenever I ask you, hey, did you take your afternoon meds? You're like, of course I took my afternoon meds. So when did you stop taking your meds?
Like earlier this week.
All right. Maybe I only asked you once. When I did ask you.
Yeah, when I asked me last week, I think.
No, I asked you at the beginning of this week.
Oh, you asked me like
it was like Monday
or Tuesday.
So Monday, Tuesday,
like
you were
Wednesday.
still out. So you this hasn't been like for 2-3 weeks.
This hasn't been an ongoing thing.
All right.
This is just like the last few days. Like I was just like, okay, I'm gonna run an errand, and then I was just like, hey, let me pick this up, and then it's like $80. I'm like, I'm not paying $80 for fucking medication.
And the thing is, you could
fuck off.
You could technically pay that, but just you think about
miss me with that bullshit.
How often are there people that really have no you don't want to pay this. It's like, yes, because it's a little pricey, but it's more of like a principle thing. This is not what I'm paying. And now that you have your own space, you're being much more conscious with your budget, et cetera, et cetera. But
got finished
technically,
complaining about an electricity bill.
Technically, you could be like, oh, all right, I'll just grin and bear it and pay it. But there are so many people who do not have that option. Maybe they're on a fixed income or they're not really working that much or whatever the case may be.
My income is fixed.
Okay. Can we?
We're
not
fixed.
No.
And that I can't get overtime.
No.
It's fixed and that I am.
Because you're not making $120 a week or a month. That's what I'm talking about, fixed income. I'm talking about people who are disabled and their SSI checks come in. And after taxes, they're basically getting $75 a week and are supposed to then figure out what they're supposed to do to get their food and all their other necessities. That is what I'm talking about. Not to say that your issue is not just as frustrating and terrible, because you should be able to get your medicine for the exact price it was before. But I do know sometimes when you if you switch pharmacies, I think, or the insurance, they need to do like a re-verification, because that's happened to me before when switching.
Well,
but
then I have to fucking verify again. Like, god damn it!
Listen, it's
ridiculous.
It's completely.
I either have to
ridiculous.
catch a train in order to go to the old place to get my medication, or now I have to go through this whole verification rigmarole to get fucking cheap ass meds to shove into my mouth so that my brain doesn't make me depressed.
Stupid and dumb, and I am really sorry that they are not.
And therapy wise, like my therapist is fucking dipped out. Like, so now I have not re-upped on a new therapist because they wanted it to be in person.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
And the clinic is based in Manhattan. Back when I used to go to my work office every single day, they were like 2 blocks away, and I could easily sneak out of the office and go to therapy for a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that's not the case. I'm not going back into the fucking office.
I completely understand that.
Off.
But I'm looking. Oh, you know what? We both forgot to remind me to send you that list of therapists that I have. So hopefully one of us remembers tomorrow.
I have a
I'm
suspicion that no one is going to remember tomorrow.
I've actually been having to look for
the listeners. It's already tomorrow.
They're supposed to guess when we're recording.
Okay, so you can guess when it is.
Give a ballpark. How long do you think we've been recording for? But I'm sorry that you're going through this frustrating saga. But so outside of that, what else have you been feeling and going through? And
I mean, I've been going through. I think this might be some form of midlife crisis.
You're not midlife yet.
Well, first
quarter life crisis.
I don't know if it's quarter life crisis. I think it might be midlife.
We're not midlife yet.
I haven't bought like a fucking Mustang or something like that, and I'm not Well, how about that?
You're 21-year-old.
First off 26, and it's not like even they're not responding.
This is
to text messages. Anyhow,
one day. Okay. Well, all right. So things have been up and down.
Things have been up and down. I'm kind of just I'm in a bit of a emotional down point right now. Like I got my new place that has problems left and right. If it's not these fucking ants, then it's just random leaks out of nowhere and just like fucking pipes that just transfer all of the various fucking fluids that are just traveling through my building because I'm in the basement. Thank you for coming to my apartment, but you're the only one who has come and visited.
Well, invite people over.
Sam has. Oops.
Well, bleeping that out.
Shit.
Are you not allowed to say? Well, I guess technically what you're saying isn't so nice. So bleep it out. They're gonna know who they are anyways, but they don't have to have their name out there.
What I was trying to say was that, like, one other friend did come and visit once. And then we made plans to visit again to maybe, work on a project. But then that plan fell through and just no more attempts have been made.
Well, I mean, I like spending time with you, and I like spending time here in your place.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun place. I mean, I like to believe that it's fun.
It has nice energy. It's quiet. I mean, the project heat is bumping.
Yeah.
So never have to worry about...
Summer is going to be a bitch.
Well, the thing is, as long as you get an air conditioner, I think it'll be fine.
I have this air conditioner, but I don't know how to get it. I don't know what to... that's going to be a beast to figure out. Figure out this air conditioner for either one of these windows. Yeah. Trying to make sure... And boy, oh boy, that's going to be hell on the electricity bill if I'm going to be working from home.
Yeah, you will. That's why you got to find good places that you can just sit in that you don't care about.
Yeah.
Well,
that's fine. So no, this is just not the greatest period of time. It just isn't. Like, it's just like I'm unfulfilled at work. Relationship wise, I'm just going on unfulfilling date after unfulfilling date.
Okay.
Just going out with people who are just...
Have you told any of the people that you date that you have a podcast?
I've told all of them that I have a podcast.
Oh, well.
Well, this is the only upside to the
promotion.
No, I was gonna say this is the only upside to the ongoing issue that I have that I have to remind you of. Is that I can have these conversations and I know that they're not going to immediately get back to those people.
Oh, all right. Again, another barb.
No, I'm not. There's no point in censoring this because
your words of your lack of encouragement actually makes me want to work harder and prove you wrong because I just want to. So thank you for your violence that you continue to choose.
Is this what I had to do?
Anyway, can you continue on?
No, this has just been a fucked up time period. Like, I'm not happy. I'm not well. I'm okay. Like
that?
I recognize that in the grand scheme of things could be worse. But just because things could be worse doesn't mean that things are all right. Things can be way better. And I can't even be super optimistic about the most recent thing that I did because that could go either way. All of this shit could go either way,
Yeah.
So we shall see. I'm keeping my head above water and making a way where I can.
So you're saying basically that you're not crazy.
So I'm in good times right now, I guess.
You're not crazy. You're just a little unwell. And I know right now we all can't tell, but if we stay a while, maybe then we'll see a different side of Maurice.
Okay, so I know I was doing the Good Times lyrics. What lyrics were those? Is that Taina? Is that Taina that you were just doing?
Wow. No, actually, that was Matchbox 20.
Oh, Lord.
Unwell.
So. Okay, well.
I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell. You wait a while, maybe then you'll see a different part of me. I love that song.
I bet you do. I'm just waiting for you to sing it.
Speaks to my life.
Yeah. Just waiting for you to sing it.
Oh, you're waiting for me to sing it? Okay.
Yeah, because each time you're just telling me the lyrics.
I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell, but stay a while and maybe then you'll see a different side of me.
No. I'm looking at the music video, and it's just this dude's feet.
Oh man, I haven't seen the music video in a very long time.
Okay. Well, let's get Rob Thomas out of here. What happens to that gimmick I was doing with all the drops?
Okay, yeah. So, anything else that you would like to?
No, that's it. I'm just bitching and complaining. Like shit. Like my 2022 hasn't started off the way that I wanted it to.
Except for the fact that you have a new home.
Yes, I have.
You're here. You the only one using your toilet besides me.
Home money, home problems.
Oh my god.
You
Okay.
know, that's where we are. It's just, I swear to God, if it's not these fucking ants, if it's not these fucking pipes.
First of all, I haven't seen one ant since I've been here the last few
because
days.
I shoved so much ant dust into all the crevices.
The crevices, thank God, and no longer putting it on every inch of your counters.
But they're still around. Like just randomly one ant that just shows up every now and then.
Everyone's gonna make it out.
Why did the one ant out of the colony not listen to the fucking
alert
queen bug and just stay wherever the fuck it was supposed to be? Why did it make its way into my living room when I'm sitting? You know, just a fucking adventurous. What is this flick from fucking A Bug's Life? Some bullshit like that. Get out of here. Yeah, ants.
Think about those ants from Ants. Those ants were really.
We can't talk about that movie because it stars Woody.
Oh God. Well, it's such a great film of my youth. And even remember Sylvester Stallone was the big.
Yeah. But the fucking neurotic fucking ant.
Oh, jeez.
Can't talk about it because the controversies.
All right.
He's got a new, he has a new movie out, right?
I'm sure
fucking
he
Rifkin's
does.
Festival. Dude, you know what's fucked up? It stars Sean Wallace or Wallace Shawn.
Which one? Let me look him up.
Isn't
he a skateboarder?
No. It's old dude. He was in Princess Bride.
Wait.
Inconceivable.
Him?
Yes. Wallace Shawn.
But you know, yeah, his name is Wallace Shawn. Inconceivable. But even like what's her name? Oh, what's her name? She was in the First Wives Club. Diane Keaton. Mm-hmm. She fucking loves Woody Allen because he started her career. So I am never honestly. Wallace Shawn has appeared in 6 of Woody Allen's films,
and counting.
So
inconceivable.
All right. Well, that was all you had for your mental health?
Yeah, that's all I had.
Inconceivable.
Okay. And
inconceivable.
For my mental health,
inconceivable.
I'm just gonna say that all right. So from just basic recap, December fucking sucked for me.
Inconceivable.
Because one, I left.
I'm sorry. I'm done.
I was in,
Okay, sorry.
Pause.
Here.
Do you have drops going rogue on you right now?
Yeah, because
have the aliens.
This one isn't an actual, it's more of a YouTube video. And I thought I pushed pause. Okay. All right. Sorry.
So December was difficult because of course, like I told you, caught COVID, which was sucked. Thankfully, I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. But as you could hear from my cough.
Shit. In COVID.
As you can hear from my cough, it
hasn't gone away.
Well, it's not so much that honestly, when I had COVID, my asthma wasn't actually acting up that much. Like I was coughing some days, but it wasn't like as nearly as what I thought it was going to be because I was really scared that I was going to need an oxygen tank or something like that.
Yeah.
But I did notice after I got better from COVID, let's say 2 to 3 weeks after, I was wheezing and coughing a lot. And that's not something, usually in the wintertime, I'll be coughing throughout the winter just because my asthma will get triggered by me having a cold. I get the cold and I'm sitting there sick for the, not even really sick, but a bit of a stuffy nose and I'm coughing for the next until it's warm again.
Yeah.
which is usually what happens. And in these last 2 years, like we said before, I haven't been sick. I wasn't really sick. I wasn't even getting a cold.
To be fair, you've been staying indoors and not sharing your space with, like, not a lot of cross-contamination.
Exactly. But now, not even so much me leaving the house. My little sister's in college.
Yes.
And
she's a youth.
She's a youth.
Mm-hmm.
She's in college, but also she works as a teaching assistant. So it's like, and she's very big on, like, she double masks. She comes home, she takes a shower. Like, she tries to be very diligent because she also has, like, latent asthma too, and she doesn't like getting sick. So she's, like, trying to be on it. But I feel like just the fact that there's another person in my apartment who's seeing a whole bunch of other people that I don't see anyone really besides, like, you. Most often than not, I probably could say that I see, like, 5 different people throughout the week, and that's like
your
big
bubble
week.
your social bubble is
It's small,
relatively small. Yes,
and it's like I'm not going out like once a week unless maybe I'm going to that little bar near my house, but even then that's not like a crazy time. So it's just that I'm noticing, like, now that I feel like I got sick. And then my immune system was lowered, and now I just have this perpetual cold. And it's like, this is usually annoying for me most winters, but I feel like this time it's extra annoying because pre-COVID, when I would be coughing a lot, people would be looking at me like, damn, you all right? And now people are looking at me like, damn, you all right? Like, I was in an Uber, and I was coughing, and the guy was like, you all right, ma'am? And I was like, yeah, it's just my asthma trolling me. Like, I want to put a shirt on that says, it's the asthma, not the vid. Okay, I can't tell you how much.
I'm.
Am I sure?
Like,
is that what you're asking me?
No, I'm not asking you if you're sure. I'm saying that's the reaction that everybody is giving because you can't just regularly.
You can't cough.
You can't cough.
You can't sneeze.
You can't cough.
Don't blow your nose. Don't be like, ooh, I'm warm, because people are like, oh, do you have a fever? What's going on? You can't be sick at all. So December was very difficult in the sense that I had to be in the house, quarantined from everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even now, like, I'm just over here, just like, is you just rubbing COVID into the walls of this studio that I'm trying to build.
That I
residual
would have
COVID.
Like being inside.
COVID.
Push the wait for it button.
We got rid of that. Remember?
Why did we get rid of that?
Because of colorism.
Wait for it. Okay. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that's the reason why we got rid of it. Didn't we say that?
I mean, fine.
And then fucking Encanto came out, and all of a sudden we forgot.
Well, that wasn't really his.
What happened?
That wasn't really his.
It was like, we watched
else's.
In the Heights, and In the Heights was like, there's no black people, and then we watched Encanto, like, oh, there's a bunch of black people.
I mean, there were. It was the first 5 minutes. There was way more like representation.
These various afros and thick eyebrows.
Anyway. So December was difficult because of the COVID.
Yes.
I had just left my last job, which, I'm grateful. I was grateful to leave because, as you know, it was a very
hostile work environment.
Oh.
I don't know. Do you have a contract where you're not allowed to say that?
I mean, if I did, the shit ain't after the events of the last 2 weeks. I think that I would be allowed to say that, which segues me perfectly into my next piece about my mental health. Mm-hmm. That it took a little bit of a bump, and not the I guess I was gonna say not the good kind, but that I think that's
what does that mean?
Because the
good kind of bump.
People who
what do you want?
Are what were you going to say? There are people who do bumps, yesterday at that party, and I want to say this makes me feel like a real adult, that people have begun doing drugs in front of me that are not weed, because I personally didn't see anyone do anything outside of weed until I think I was in my it might have been between 30 and 32. I don't think before I ever.
That just makes you not cool, because I've
You
been
know
seeing
what?
motherfuckers do coke since college.
First of all, I'm very cool. People just don't ever think
You
they
can
think
definitely
that
tell somebody's really cool because they say
people
I'm
just
really
they'll
cool.
be like, well, they didn't want to offend me, and I'm like, I don't care what you do with your life. I'm chilling. I'm over here. As long as you don't try to force me to do anything, and you don't start acting up ridiculous. As long as you know if you need medical attention, I'm gonna call the cops. Or not the cops. I'll call the ambulance.
Yeah, no, that's exactly
like
your MO. You'll call the fucking
I
cops.
might even call an Uber before I call the ambulance, because you don't want a $400 random thing when I could have got you there faster. But I don't really care. But I feel like the people have been like, oh, we just thought you were such a little nerd that you'd be weird about us doing what we're doing. No, ma'am. I don't care. Enjoy yourself. But I was literally ordering my drink yesterday at the bar, and this lovely young black woman, which, representation matters. She came.
I don't know if this is the representation that we're.
Hey, cool. Listen, black people
for.
do everything that they want to do. We can't tell them that. We can't say that one type of blackness is better than the others. But I was waiting to order a drink. It was very crowded at the bar. She wanted to stand in between me and the other person that was in front of me, because she wanted to do a bump of coke.
Ew.
Which,
Sorry, I'm saying ill because I'm making plans and they want to be
maybe
far
you
away.
should not make plans in the middle of the podcast recording.
This isn't in the middle. This is close to the end.
Either way, you know what I'm saying. So she was like, I wanted do you mind letting me stand here so I can do this pump of coke? And if you do, I know the people here, I'll order your drink for you so you can get it real quick. And I was like,
so of course you'll
sure.
get the free drink. And
what? I mean, she was going to do the bump anyway. I don't really care as long as you're not trying to get me to do it, go right ahead. So she goes to do the bump, but the waitress or the bartender was like, ma'am, you calm down. We can't be. Even if it's New York City, this is Brooklyn.
Where is there a bathroom? Why is there a
bathroom? A bathroom right behind. I was like, well, the bathrooms are right there. If you're really, itching for a little sniffing, the bathroom is right
if
there.
You're itching for, I don't ever want to hear you say that phrase ever again.
Well, I'm just saying.
Itching for a sniffing.
If you're itching for a sniffing, you can go to the bathroom. But God, this totally derailed me from what was I talking about?
This is mental health, baby.
God.
Okay.
That's what I said, a good bump, and that's what I meant, because for her personally, this would have been a good bump. Other people, that would have been a poor, not a good bump. So a bump is subjective. Either way, I took a bit of a hit, I would say, to my mental health in the last 2 weeks, because I left that job. And honestly, I was really annoyed that I caught COVID that month, because I was so tired and burnt out and just completely exhausted from the whole situation of being there, that I had been really looking forward for the month of November or December to being able to recharge, because I had gotten a new job already, not before I left in November, but someone had contacted me about work. I aced the interview, loved them, I signed on in December, and I was super excited that I was going to be able to take a break, relax, refresh, release, blah blah blah. And then in January, I'm starting work. I'd be able to start fresh. But what happened was I got COVID literally the second week into fucking December, almost. And then was sick and tired and sleeping and recovering that whole month. And then, I was still happy. I felt refreshed when I came back in January. But then at the end of January, I got a punch in the gut when my old employer tried to, I guess, what's the word for that? If you weren't texting, perhaps you could have told me one.
Oh, I was paying
faster.
attention. Accost.
I think accost, harass,
Yeah.
malign.
Yes.
Me socially
Mm-hmm.
for something that troll, yes, which is like
I'm paying attention
over something that was a complete misunderstanding. Mercury was also still retrograde at that time.
No, just tell the story without
It was Mercury
adding
retrograde.
Mercury into this.
Mercury
I don't
was
know what
retrograde
technology
at
has
that
to
time.
do with this.
First of all,
and,
Mercury rules technology, communication,
and cash rules everything around me. So
and
what
more.
does?
Okay.
But what this was a
This
is a story about people.
This was a complete
making a choice
miscommunication.
to bother you, and
right,
as
fine.
opposed to
You're right.
Leave it in the hands of the actual people and the perpetrators.
The
as opposed
hostile
to
environment that I was
fucking
working.
Aries.
I was working in a hostile. It was Aquarius, but whatever.
All right, I'm sorry. I
was
haven't watched
working in
Hercules in a while.
A hostile environment, and that hostile environment translated into a hostile social media environment over something that was complete miscommunication. And then there was a complete misrepresentation online where the person was trying to get me let go from my current job. Thankfully, the contractor that I'm on right now, once I told them what happened, they were just like, this sounds like it's blown out of proportion. Move on, and well, it was a whole investigation, so it was not, I'm saying it like it just happened on a Monday and by Wednesday it was cleared up. Like, it was a whole week of me being in such a spiral, and I was very worried for myself, and not worried about myself because of that, what the person did, more so worried about myself because like my mental health has been up, as yours has been up and down. Mine's been up and down. We're in this fucking panorama. So that already is like a lot of stress. And then something happening like this that's completely out of left field just kind of really shook me. And I want to mention this not because of in a way of being dramatic, but it kind of was like, Chelsea Christ. Am I saying? I'm saying it was Chelsea Christ. I know that we just talked about her, Miss Universe. She committed suicide that Friday, I believe it was. And I remember when this happened on Monday, I just was thinking for people who were like, I'm rooting for everybody, black excellence, black all this stuff, and black people matter. For someone to try to cause harm to another black person over something that they thought or assumed that they did, after we had those two suicides that happened within a week of each other. And if you worked for someone and they already know you might be have mental health struggles that you were open with and spoke to them about, then for them to do something that is so malicious, it's like, damn, you must really hated me. You must have really had an issue with me outside of just we didn't work well together, which is very interesting. And I feel like this situation for me was just indicative of everything that had happened to me while I was working in that company. Someone accusing or assuming the worst of me when I'm here just like I didn't even know that happened, which I contribute to the ADHD tax, because one of the things that I've been working on with my therapist, my ADHD therapist, is my executive functions. I'm not on medicine right now, so how to get coping mechanisms to be able to get all the different things in line that I need to be. And I did think that I was doing my best. Well, I was doing my best, and I did think that I have made a lot of good strides. But I think that sometimes we talk about the ADHD tax when it comes to food in the fridge that you forgot about, or an appointment or a reservation that you might miss, or clothing that you don't remember to send back. But I think that people don't also realize that ADHD tax is not just money, but also how people interact with you, because of the way that our society is set up. It's all about like what can you do and how productive you are, and if you're not producing in the way that someone thinks that you should, automatically you are no longer viable to them. And if you are not doing something the way that they do it, or if you make a mistake and don't realize it, instead of it being like, oh, this is a mistake because people are not robots, it is you're doing this on purpose because you don't care, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And now that you could say that there are plenty of people with ADHD, and there are plenty of people who probably do not care what happens, with what they're doing, whether professionally or personally. I am not one of them. I actually care way too much, which is probably also one of the main things my therapist and I talk about. The amount of overthinking that I'm constantly doing and trying to be my best, and the perfectionism, So when people try and use my weaknesses against me to be like, oh, you're a bad person, just like, well, you could think that, but I don't think that I'm a bad person, or I've been working for a very long time to disabuse myself of that notion that I'm not a good person because I might just have some difficulties or struggles in some places. But I mean, I feel happy, of course, that the situation worked out in my favor. I feel sad that someone who is in the power dynamics has always been a difference because of the people that they know, the amount of money they have, the followers that they have. So, of course, there is more quote-unquote power in that space, and that they would try to use that power to harm me professionally and personally. It's sad. I feel sad for them that they felt that that was something that they had to do or needed to do. Versus just picking up the phone and calling me. And I'm just grateful that I have the support system I have, because who knows how that day could have panned out for me if I didn't have a bunch of people in my space and in my corner to be able to say, like, let's figure this out together, or whatever the case may be. So I'm feeling better from that. And that definitely is helpful, that things worked out well for me at work. And I'm hopeful that this won't have any detriment to, if I decide, like, this is a 3-month contract. If I decide to stay in my job or not, I want that to be completely up to me and not anyone else. So I feel like that's been a kind of mental health thing I've been dealing with. But outside of that, I mean, I feel like I've been making a lot of great progress with both my therapists. I didn't get to see them for the month of December or January. We just started back up again, which has been good. And what else? I don't know. I'm just trying to take things one day at a time. I'm hoping to find a psychiatrist soon so I can get new meds. Maybe, like, and I'm fine with paying out of pocket, because at the end of the day, until I get insurance, it's really difficult. I hate Medicaid therapists, or the psychiatrists they have on there, because they have not been a good experience with me so far. Or either that they were a good experience, they didn't have the medicine they didn't prescribe the medicine that I need. So that's frustrating, but I'm also feel supported through my therapist that I have, the people in my community like you and others. So I would say, it's been up, like you, it's been up and down. I just feel like it's like life is it's a roller coaster. You literally never know what's going to go on. And you just are riding the waves. Sometimes it turns into a loop-de-loop. Sometimes you just coast it over. Sometimes there's a huge dip. And I think that you just have to have the, your seatbelt on tight and the people around you to, like, hold you together. Because adulting is freaking tough.
Yeah, it is. It is. But we're doing the very best that we can.
We are. That includes you, listeners. You're doing the best that you can.
For all of those who are listening, y'all are doing the best that you can. So, there we go.
What was that?
Didn't cue it up.
What
correctly.
is that? What song is that?
That is Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts.
Okay, I do remember
I was
song.
hoping that I could get to the part where they say, Life is a highway, I want to ride it all night long.
But yes, it's true. And I want to say this is something that my therapist has said to me many times in the past. If you have a diagnosed mental health issue, or you think you might have one, you don't know what it is, or you're just, struggling every day. If you were this bad, lazy, terrible person, you would not be spending time thinking and wondering how you could be better every day. So even if you do trip up, you make a mistake, so you say something inappropriate, you do something you didn't mean to, whatever the case, if you're actively working on yourself, I feel like that's the best thing that you could do. And that's all that kind of matters, because otherwise you're just going to be putting yourself down the way that so many other people in the world and these outside communities that don't understand mental illness and like to create a narrative of, like, you're just doing this because you just want to, and you definitely want to alienate your friends and family and coworkers, and if you just want to do it, you would stop. But that's not true. If you had the capacity and capability and all those things to never do any of the things that you dislike about yourself or your brain in particular, you would stop them. So just give yourself grace. Work as hard as work hard to be the best you can be, but know that, like, we're all out here trying our best.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah, it gets easier every day, but you got to do it every day. That's the hard part. But once you get past that, it does get easier to do it every day.
Consistency.
So, boy, oh boy, it kind of seems as though we spent that last whole thing complaining, but listen. Hey, listeners, turns out there's actually more to legitimately complain about, because we've got our gripes.
Bring it! What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
This is a section where we just go off on the things that have been annoying us, that have been pissing us off, whether they're in our lives or in the media. And since I went first in the last segment, I'm ceding my time to you.
All right.
So you go.
All right.
You go first this time.
I'm going to try to be quick. Okay. So, number one, Eric Adams.
Yes.
What the fuck? So, we have all known how he told people from the Bronx fire, the tragedy, that they should have just shut the door. We know that he wants to try to bring back stop and frisk, which has been clearly shown through many years of studies and lived experiences and work.
Who would have thought that electing a weird black cop would have led to this?
Well,
continue.
A few days ago, Adams was speaking out about the death of 18-year-old rapper Jaquan McKinley, aka Chiwitz. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But during his speech about like combating this violence in the streets, he decided he was going to latch on to what he sees is the issue here. And it's that Jaquan was a drill rapper. And he said that he became aware of the drill music when his son, Jordan Coleman, Eric Adams, is that the son that had the quote-unquote beef in your vegan fridge? Or is that another one? Please, let us know. His son sent him those, and he said, my son sent me videos. It was alarming. And he said that there was a hypocrisy of banning politicians. Oh, because he said we got Trump off Twitter, but we still have guns and whatever in the music videos. He said you have a civic and corporate responsibility. We pulled Trump off Twitter because of what he was spewing. Yet we are allowing music with displaying of guns violence. First of all, this is a terrible sentence. Can't even read it. We allow this to stay on the sites. Now, I don't know if we have taken a time machine back to, what was that, 1992 or 1993 when the 2 Live Crew was being sanctioned by the Congress. But whatever time travel he has gotten into, he should call the doctor and say, let me go back. Because we don't need this. We don't want it. And we don't want to see any more of it. Okay.
No, because I'm literally looking at a Pop Smoke music video with no guns in it. So
I mean, there's plenty.
The fuck is he talking about?
Majority of the time, you might have some weed, you might have some ladies, and you might have them doing that little dance with the feet. I don't know what it's called, but I love it.
Yeah.
But and anyway, how many rock videos?
They're doing
how
the
many
dance with the
country videos do you see where they have fucking guns? So shut the fuck up, Eric Adams. Nobody asked you. Also, weird. Okay, wait. No, let me do the people who are famous first. Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is thankfully not about him being a transphobic person.
There we go.
I was not going to say that other word that you could have sounded like. It wasn't about him being transphobic. It's because there is an issue in this Dayton suburb called Yellow Springs, which is where he's from. Mm-hmm. It is a white upper middle class area. He was planning on bringing a lot of business there. He has, he purchased a plot. He has like $65 million, I think. I have to double check. Invested, and he's planning on opening up a restaurant, and a comedy club.
Mm-hmm.
A company proposed. This company proposed the development that his establishments were going to be in, and I guess they had changed what they had said was going to be there as far as housing, and were saying they were going to add. They were going to keep space for affordable housing. And when I looked at it, they were like, the houses were like $250, and I was like, oh wow, that is really affordable. But for Ohio, not so necessarily, because you could find a house for like $300,000 there, and it'd be like really nice. However, because they decided to do this affordable housing, not just Dave Chappelle, a lot of the other people in the community were pushing back against it. But he obviously is the biggest voice since we know him, and he had a lot of money invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the plan was killed, and people are kind of upset about this because, in my opinion, it is not specifically racist, but it's its cousin, classism. Because if you study American history, it's mostly been that it's classism over racism in a lot of ways, but the fact that they use racist tactics to ensure the classism is able to stay in place. How do you get poor black whites? How do you get poor blacks and poor whites to fight against each other instead of banding together? Well, make the poor whites police officers, and now they feel better about even though they may not have any money or land or real power in the community, we can tell them they got power over the Negroes. So this is great. I mean, this has been the tactics within time and perpetuity or whatever. But in this situation, even though that area is mainly white, the people that would have probably been moving in there were probably mainly lower income white people, who knows, but also black people would have been able to get over there and live there. I feel like this is, from my understanding, even though allegedly when the development was originally created, they did not tell them about this affordable housing and it was added afterwards. I don't think that to me should have been a negative thing. And it reminds me of being here, growing up in Long Island. Like, my mom was always looking for houses for social work to open up homes, to have different shelters for people, and not specifically violent people, but like teens, women who need domestic violence or any other, women's shelters. But having them in places where they're not necessarily going to be connected to where the people that they were trying to escape are back, because that's how you have recidivism.
Yes.
But there was always so much pushback when my mom would find a viable home, because it would be in a nice middle class neighborhood, and they didn't want to have the quote unquote riffraff in that space. And the same, I feel like, is there. They're looking at it as, oh, we don't want these low income people moving. And if they do, why should they be allowed to eat from our Dave Chappelle eatery? It sounds very much like you want to have only wealthy people, regardless of their color, living there. And having poor whites is going to bring down the property value. And you don't want that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that is shameful for anyone, but especially Dave Chappelle, to be like a part of that. Even if he's not the one that got the bill killed, he was still a part of the voices. He could have lent his voice on the other side and said, no, let's make sure we're getting affordable housing. Even if they're saying, well, there have been some critiques that have said, well, $250,000 or $300,000 is not affordable in that area because that's way above people's margins. Fine. He could have said, you know what? How can I help to make it that these houses are costing $150,000? So it is actually, viable. But it's like, you don't want to build your restaurant now because low-income people are going to have access to it. Plenty of low-income people go to restaurants. When I was growing up, my mom wasn't making any money. We definitely went to restaurants of all varieties. 5-star, 1-star, sit down, stand up, take out. Like, people, regardless of the money that you think that they have, sometimes they're going to treat themselves. And that doesn't mean that just because you may not have a lot of money all the time doesn't mean you should be excluded from having a nice place to live. And it's just really sad to see all of these celebrities who care more about capitalism and what they can gain and less about, like, what is going to be good for the rest of the community. So that was crazy and terrible. Also, people being weird. This Texas man killed his sister, who he allegedly was also having sex with, which is, I can't, the whole situation is crazy to me. And I really feel like we need to have a conversation about men and their violence, because the reason why he killed her is that she allegedly had slept with another man. And in the article, they say that he didn't know he had a sister until 3 years ago. She came up from Guatemala to Texas to where he is. They connected and they allegedly started a romantic relationship. Cool. So it's less icky than if they were like raised, but still also, it's still your siblings. So get a grip. But the fact that he would kill her over the possibility that she might have like had sex with a friend of his is just insane. And it's not at all unusual, which is what it makes me very sad. And lastly, I just want white people, again, gather your white folks. There have been so many instances in the past week where black people and non-white people have been harassed, assaulted, and or killed by white folk, and you need to gather them together. you had that there was a situation on the Frontier Airlines where that guy, the black guy, was like drunk and shouting about Bengals, and this white guy who's not a police officer, according to the video, he like put him in a headlock and was choking him. That's not okay. You have the white father and son who were trying to pull another Ahmed Aubrey situation and shot at a black FedEx driver while he was on his route. And the man, his name is DeMontario Gibson, said that his boss told him to keep dropping off the packages. So it's like, maybe if someone wasn't playing on their phone,
I have a timer.
They would not have had.
I'm sorry that my 3 hour and 43 minute timer went off just now. So,
anyway, those are the things that griped me. And you know what? Main gripe in general is people just being mean girls and being fake and saying that they are for the people when in reality they're just for themselves and are exploiting the fact that black people are so starved for positive representation and joy that they would stoop to any level to do it. And, that's not okay. I think that we have to treat each other with respect and love and compassion regardless. And I think that the world just needs more of that at this moment. What about you? What's griping you?
If you are going to go out for drinks, fucking eat beforehand. And if you are not certain, like, maybe do some research on the place that you're going to see if they have food. Or do some research on the area that you're going to see if there's food in the area. Or just fucking eat food. I'm sick and tired of being in situations where the impetus is, hey, we're just going to grab a drink and chat. And then suddenly there's like, hey, what food, there's this question. It's not like we live in New York, right? This is New York City. We're not in the fucking suburbs of Des Moines or something where we have to go to a Ruby Tuesdays that has fucking, Tuesday
unlimited
margaritas
fries.
And unlimited fucking fries and the 3 for 3 entree platter bullshit. The places that we're going are you can see what they are. It's either a bar or it's a restaurant or it's but the key word is, hey, we're going out for drinks. Yeah. And then you say the name of the place and then we have technology. You can do research on the location to see if they have food, if they have a menu. All of these places have that information readily available. So no more of this I thought I didn't realize there was no food here, or I didn't realize it was going to be hungry. Plan your fucking day accordingly. Is all I'm saying. Move with intention. I move with intention. That's why I pregame. That's why I move and do things accordingly. That's why I fucking eat before I go out. This isn't, and I'm in my 30s. This is no longer I'm in college. Let me eat a slice of bread before I go to the house party that is doing jungle juice by the trough. And sweating out all of the fucking alcohol and whatnot while the bathroom is clogged up because somebody fell asleep in the fucking bathroom, locked the door and turned on the water, so now everything is flooding and shit. Nothing like that is happening.
That story. I do remember that.
Yes, nothing like that is happening. We're grown adults. We can make moves accordingly. That's all I'm saying. I'm also really sick, really tired of these fucking ants. I'm so sick. I don't know where they're... I clearly have been able to figure out where they're coming from because I clogged up all of the fucking crevices so they're not getting their asses in here. But it's ants. It's not roaches. It's not rats. You know, the things that I'm used to dealing with because I've lived in urban plight since I've been born. It's ants. That's a suburban problem. Like, I'm surprised I'm not dealing with fucking raccoons, you know? Like, it's fucking ants. Ants! Ants eating up all the fucking pizza that was left out. Like, ants!
Okay, I'm sorry about the pizza, okay? I really am. I didn't think that the ants were going to eat it. And I apologize.
My issue is with ants. I told you, my brain can only compartmentalize one issue with one person at a time. It's not like a litany of things, okay? So you have your thing. It's not the ant pizza thing, okay? So you didn't need to jump out of the window with that. You chose to do that. I have no issue with that. My issue is with the ants.
I think
Fuck you, ants. Fuck you, ants. Miss me with that bullshit, ants. That are in this, they're clearly around because they haven't like gone away. Like there's still like the occasional fucking one ant that will just like show up on my couch or something, you know, like it's just, it just bothers me that just like ants are just around and easily accessible in my apartment building.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. I fucking hate bugs. Ants are annoying. I think the only thing you have to remember is that you live on Long Island, which was is still
is it known as Ant Town?
A very woody, buggy place. Just because we're in quote unquote Brooklyn doesn't mean that the ants and the bugs that have lived here for all these years and centuries are gonna go away. So it's just more about figuring out how to live with them and do your best to keep them at bay. I mean, I usually get ants randomly once a year. But I try to do randomly. I try to like do whatever I can to keep them away. But they can be very obnoxious. And I think that what it is you just moved in here. And when we moved into our house in Wheatley Heights, that first few summers, we would, and I mean, of course, the house was just freshly built. We would always get ants. I think sometimes when you're in a place hasn't been inhabited in a while, the bugs start feeling like they're chilling. They're not really like, dang, I need to move away. Like they only are just out here looking for snacks.
Mm-hmm.
So once you are more ingratiated into this apartment, I'm hoping you'll have less ant issues.
Get like a fucking dream catcher for ants, like a fucking ant catcher or some bullshit like that in order to.
You know what? Get one of those plugins.
Get a fucking drop.
Yes, but the plugins.
I have like 9 plugins as it is. That's probably why my electricity bill is as high as it is, because these fucking plugins are running nonstop. Sorry, I'm not in a good place right now.
Okay.
I'm in a fucking fighting mood. I'm fighting with these ants.
I understand, my friend.
Infuriating me. There we go. Enough. I haven't even used 50% of these drops. There's still,
I'm sure,
so many more.
I'm very sure.
That's what's pissing me off. But you know what? Doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. Sometimes things are going our way, and with that, let's talk about the things that made us happy.
I'm the baby merchant, tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
It has been too long since we got to hear that song.
I agree.
It really just brightens up my soul and my spirit. Both of those, whether they're the same or different, each part gets something it needs. Aww. So what is making you happy? What's bringing you joy this week?
You want me to start this time too? Okay. I will say that my sister bought I think she's closed. I forget the nomenclature. I've never bought a house. So
Closed on a house?
I think she closed on a house.
Yay!
Yes. And yes, she has closed on a house.
Black excellence. Black girls rock. Woo woo woo.
Yeah, you know what?
This is a big deal.
Shout out to my sister.
Shout out to her.
She has a new place and she has put out the word to the whole family to come down to help her move. And
are you gonna go?
Hmm?
Are you gonna go?
I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it.
Why not?
I was not given enough lead time to buy a ticket.
When is this happening?
This is happening at the end of the month.
The end of the month? You mean February, end of the month?
I have a high electricity bill.
Are you?
There's not enough time for me to buy a ticket.
Ask your
on
dad
a bus.
to buy a ticket.
I'm not gonna.
Why not?
First off,
ask your parents.
I'm not gonna ask my parents to say, "Hey,
Why not?
hey, Daddy, can you please
These are your
pay
parents. These are the
a round
things
ticket for me to
that
come down
they
to come
would
visit,
love to do.
so that I could do manual labor?" No.
You see, that's why you don't want to find a
That's
way
not
down
the reason.
there.
That is not the reason. That is not the reason.
You don't want to have to move boxes.
That's not the reason. That is not the reason. Okay, this is what I will say. I am in a little bit of financial straits until I do my taxes and until I negotiate for a raise. And I also saw that. And I heard it. So right now, money's not like the most fluid.
Okay.
All of like a good portion of my money goes to my rent.
Mm-hmm.
And then the amount of electricity apparently is high.
If you could go down there without having to pay for the ticket, would you go? See, I knew it. You know what?
I would. Okay, so here's the thing. It's a combo. It's a combo thing. It's helping my sister move into her new place. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, celebrating my nephew's 15th birthday. So it's like a 2-day event that weekend.
Maurice, we have to figure out a way for you to get down there.
And it's like I have no problem. First off, because
you can get some wings.
It's the 26th and the 27th. It's that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think there's enough time for me to get a ticket to a bus to go down there. I just don't think there is. Okay. I get paid on the 15th and then I get paid on the 28th. I have bills that I have to take care of.
That's true.
And with the lingering amount of it's not like I have a lot left over after I pay my bills and shit. Okay?
I understand the struggle.
But I can at least be happy for my sister.
I think
I am happy for my sister. I'm happy that she's about to have a home. She's gonna be a whole ass homeowner.
And
I never learned how to spell that song.
INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means?
Yes, she's that.
She got her own house. She got her own car.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, she has all of it. She has all of her own. I'll do the Jamie Foxx one. Oh, she's got her own. Wow. My sister's got her own.
I haven't heard that song in a really long time. But yes, we are giving all the air horns to your sister.
Yes. Shout out to my sister. And shout out to the rest of my family who have rallied together to come down from New York to go and help her, like, move. So that's fucking great. That, like, she put it in the chat, and everyone except me in that chat answered the call. I watched it happen in real time, and I did not say anything.
Well, I'm sure that it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's going to, I'm sure if it's anything like how I help, I'm sure if it's like anything, just like be aware. Like, anyhow, I'm sure if it's like anything I've done with getting people to help me move back in time, there's going to be a lot of food and liquor after the deed is done, after the majority of the movement has been done.
Yeah, I would go, but I'm going to tell them, like, I'm not really a moving. I don't like moving. I'll pay for someone to do it. I don't want to move not one bit
already at least one person who is supposed to be going that I think is going to play that move.
I'm not moving things. I will move. I'll pick up a bag.
Well, you helped me move once.
I did, but I love you, so that's
like I'm
not.
That's adorable. Like, that is fucking adorable.
I grinned and bear it for the one time,
and I paid you in beer and pizza.
And if any other time that you want to move, can't say that I will.
And I've done the rightful thing and made sure that I no longer utilize my friends and family to, and that's not me throwing any salt.
I mean,
that's not me throwing any shade. Let me make that clear.
I've moved you twice.
I'm just saying,
out of the goodness of my heart.
No, you did once.
No, I helped you move twice.
What do you mean twice? When?
Didn't I help you move in here a little bit?
No, the fuck you didn't.
Are you sure?
No, you came over here with champagne and we drank in this.
Oh, well, that's a christening.
That wasn't. No, that's a christening is not helping someone move.
You do christen the apartment.
You moved a bottle of champagne from the liquor store into my.
Because I cleansed your apartment. I blessed
You moved your own fucking astrology accoutrement into my house and set it on fire to like ward off the fucking demons. That's not moving. That's not moving.
It's helping you move.
That's not moving.
Because that is a part of the moving process. You gotta bless, clear out the home, and then you bless it to make sure that it's a beautiful living space for.
Do you know what would happen to me if I came down from New York to Baltimore to say what I'm going to do as part of the moving process is I'm going to burn this sage and I'm going to ward off evil.
They would say,
and then I'm going to get my black ass back on the fucking
for being so thoughtful
boat bus, head back home.
You could have also then been like, I'll also order some sandwiches for the day or something. I don't know. But saging and blessing, first of all, you got to sage it first. Or use frankincense and myrrh, because sage is...
no one has gold to just...
Sage is just low.
It has to just be frankincense and myrrh.
Yeah, but frankincense and myrrh is more, it's a cleansing stuff, and it's
How
not
has there not been a soul act that has been called frankincense and myrrh?
You know what? You are exactly right. It's probably like a gospel. Let me look it up.
Frankincense. Hey, this is frankincense and myrrh coming to you on the late night quiet storm. We're doing dedications all night long. This is from Lisa. She is sending out a dedication to Albert. She is saying that she wants him to come home. She is tired of him roaming and wants him to land on the...
There is a group called Gold, Frankincense, and Myrrh. Is a new breed rising. Hold on.
Okay. No.
Gold, Frankincense, and Myrrh is a new breed rising, an all-female beautycore band comprised of a trio of sisters commonly referred to GFM. Hailing from Jacksonville, Florida, GFM infuses positive, youthful energy into traditional metal styling. It's a lot more that I'm not going to read, but sure. Anyway, I'm really happy for you about this. your sister, getting a new home, some place to visit. Are there anything else that have made you happy?
No, that's it. That's the only thing.
That's the only thing that's made you happy this week?
This week? Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. What? Like I went out on a date, like, and it went well. We'll see what happens. Like, oh well, like.
All right. Well, is it my turn now?
I'm not about to. Oh shit, that's right.
Is it my turn now? Well, I would like to let you know that my main thing that's made me happy this week is recording this podcast because we haven't done it in quite some time. I just wanted to let the world know that this is a special time in my heart, and I appreciate us being able to do it. The other thing that made me happy this week is being victorious against my harassers. Well, no, there were multiple harassers in the whole situation. So yes, being victorious and knowing that regardless of whether or not I tell the world my whole sordid backstory of, as you put it, a hostile work environment, that is it's pointless. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you don't. But I don't need to spend the time thinking about how I'm going to try and like maneuver what this person's trying to do to me outside of just being myself. And step one of that was still having a job at the end of the week, which dope, really excited about. And also I got my hair done. It looks really cute.
Ultimate fatality.
I was trying to play that before you moved on to your hair.
Okay.
Because it was just going to, like, you did a whole good thing about tying up your last harassment.
Mm-hmm.
But
the final harassment. It was.
But
oh my God, this was the final boss harassment. This was the final boss harassment.
This was the.
Wow.
Wait. So it was the final countdown?
It was. Yes. Where is the drop?
No, like, fuck. All right, just forget it.
The final countdown.
I know.
I was helping.
I know. I know. Like, sorry, the internet's not working.
Well,
and
I still have a job. My hair looks really cute. And what else what was the last thing I said? I got my hair done, and it looks really cute. I'm fire engine red. I'm a redhead. I feel powerful. I'm a siren. I'm a vixen. I'm a mermaid. You know? I just feel like...
Okay.
You know, and I'm shouting out you for shaving my head because you did a really good job.
I did shave your head.
You did a good
job.
I showed her Mara. She loved it.
You came to me. You asked me to cut your hair. I did.
I mean, I would have
We
cut
were
my
both
hair,
intoxicated.
But I know that it would not have worked out well.
We were both mad intoxicated.
But look how you did my hair like this and you were not sober. So
yeah, okay, one, I was not sober, but also I was aware. I was like, I kept protesting. I was like, do you want it this low? Are you sure you want it this low?
You need a good amount of lowness.
Yeah, I was just like, this feels like you're gonna need maybe a professional to come in and do more.
Because my hair grows really fast.
Okay, well,
it's like it needs to be the shortest possible. It can grow in, and I'm just, I'm embracing it. I love this feeling of air on my head. My hair has gotten really long on the top, and did I show you the picture of my hair?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I have prefrontal cortex disorder that messes with my working memory. Okay, sorry. I do not remember how many times.
But you can remember that you told me something, even though
I can remember those times. I can remember. Okay, you're gonna gaslight me during my joyful
It's not gaslighting.
It feels like gaslight. I feel
How does
gaslit.
it feel like gaslighting?
I feel like you're lighting a gasoline.
How? That's first off, that's the weirdest thing that could happen is that, like, you're talking about, like, frontal cortex memory, that you could remember things and then feeling like you're being gaslit.
I cannot help the things that I can or cannot remember. I cannot help it.
I'm just saying, like, it just you straight up say, hey, I told you this, and I'm like, no, you didn't. And I'm just like, and you're like, actually, yes, I did.
First of all, I don't
And
ever
I'm
say
like-
it like that. You always say it like that when I told you something. You say, you didn't tell me. And I'm like, yeah, I did. Now you don't mean
No, what
Okay,
I say
fine.
is no, you didn't.
That
and
is
then you say,
definitely
yes,
that
I
is
did.
definitely not
Yes,
how
I
you-
did. I told you this, and
That
and
is
then
definitely
and
not
then
how
I'm
you say
like,
it.
all right, sure,
That's
because
definitely
how can I prove
I'm
that I
going to
don't know
begin-
something because you didn't give me the information? I don't know how to prove
I'm
that.
going to begin recording our conversations and then
Go for it.
showing you that you
I've already started with
responded
this.
poorly.
Yeah.
Okay. But yes, those are the things that made me happy this week. I am done.
Okay, so these are a few of our happiest things. And with that being said, like that's everything. That's
it, and
all,
that's all.
of the things. That's it. That's all. That's all. That's it. There's nothing else left but to go into the close. Thank you for listening to This American Life. No,
I wish.
Thank you for you wish. First off,
I love This American Life. I wish that we had a This American. If NPR will bring us on as a whatever, I don't even know, consultant or something, so that we can bring Black and Nerdy into the This American Life crew.
I'm Ira Glass, and this is this.
Like,
This
I
American
would
Life.
like to have yes. Okay, we are speaking that into existence. Boom, bam, bam, boom, 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 manifest.
So we can just be bought by fucking NPR.
Exactly,
Chicago.
and be in freaking every person's ear around the country and
That'd
the
be
world.
great. That would be great.
Okay, I'm saying it. You said it. I'm co-signing it. Listeners, you'll also hear it and co-sign it. And tell Sarah Koenig we love her. She's dope as fuck.
Yeah. Agreed.
But yes, please listen to us, like us, subscribe to us.
All that's in the
and
closing.
It is. I haven't listened to the closing in so long. I can't remember what we all say, but I'm just so happy to have been here with you, talking to all of you. And
I'm happy to have been here with you as well.
are we cheersing?
Yes, we are.
Let's do a
quick cheers.
Camera cheers.
Let's do an on camera. There's no camera.
It's on mic.
Yeah.
Fine.
But we are gonna do a quick cheers. Hopefully that we can just do this.
Don't say it back. If you say
This is not a backhanded compliment.
backhanded comment,
This is not gonna be a fucking backhanded compliment.
I'm going to scream.
This is what I like. What I will say is this: like, with each year, we should improve, right? That's not a backhanded compliment to say that. Let's do 2020 better than we did 2021. We started in 2021.
That's true.
Let's do 2022 better, continue to improve and grow.
I will co-sign that.
There we go. Do the show notes. So,
All right,
we're out of here.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorice is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD THATSOD.E, and on Twitter THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.